Rivers of the deep, dolphin mysteries. Bottlenose freaks, short beaks in the night. Humpback shadows, pygmies out of sight. All the dolphins, you know it's true. Rolling deep in the ocean blue. Stripes and spots, they rule the tide. Water dogs of the deep, they don't hide. In the river's grip, seas endless bounty. Ruling the waves, dolphin Illuminati. Praised by Romans, gods to the Greeks. Underwater rulers, the power peaks. In ocean depths, that counts to 6. Dolphins in the dark, never calling it quits. Striped and spotted in the sea's domain. Aquatic dogs in their own insane lane. Through rivers they ride, seas they roam. In the ocean depths, they make their home.
Well, I talk about insanity, which is what's going on in your mind, and outside, which is where you communicate with those things. As you know, if you give too much of your insanity, they'll lock you up. I tried giving as much as I could. They didn't lock me up. They published it, paid me.
Dolphin, Illuminati. Deep, deep, deep in the deep they creep. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. In the rivers and the seas they be a constant mystery. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. In the rivers and the seas, they be a constant mystery. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. It's that dolphin, Illuminati.
Eyes wide shut, a surreal ball, Rothschild mansion, creepy halls behind every door, a cloaked body. Don't you know this is Illuminati? Did we put the naughty in Illuminati? We expose the hot bodies of Illuminati. Did we put the naughty in Illuminati? Mind control of your soul, of that body. Yeah.
Are you ready to reveal all there is to see? Esoteric secrets revealed in all of their glory. The Illuminati series from Paranoid American. Putting the naughty in Illuminati. More details at paranoidamerican.com.
Hey everybody, it's Sam Triple here, and I want to tell you about my new project. It's called the Chaos Twins. We have an Indiegogo fundraiser for this comic book series about two twin girls with special powers who move to a new neighborhood and battle the forces of evil, the deep state, the Babylonians, the secret societies that are ruining everything. It's a comic book now, but we hope to turn it into a special animation. Just go to chaostwins.com. Help out. We got 1 day left.
Pussy now this morning. Oh, mommy, I got my pussy. Please run to me and let me see. Oh, she's a bunny, y'all. She's a bunny this morning.
It was forbidden. They said it was dangerous. They were right. Introducing the Paranoid American Homunculus Owner's Manual. Dive into the arcane, into the hidden corners of the occult. This isn't just a comic. It's a hidden tome of supernatural power. All original artwork illustrating the groundbreaking research of Juan Ayala, one of the only living homunculologists of our time. Learn how to summon your own homunculus, an enigma wrapped in the fabric of reality itself, their power at your fingertips, their existence, your secret. Explore the mysteries of the Aristotelian, the spiritual, the Paracelsian, the Crowleyan homunculus, ancient knowledge lost to time, now unearthed in this forbidden tale. This comic book holds truths not meant for the light of day, knowledge that was buried, feared, and shunned. Are you ready to uncover the hidden? The Paranoid American Homunculus Owner's Manual, not for the faint of heart. Available now from Paranoid American. Get your copy at tjojp.com or paranoidamerican.com today.
Save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
Here comes Santa.
on to the good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, mega mystics, entertaining, calming linguists. Good guys. Forum of decorum needs a secretive society to advance on philosophies intentionally, magically. Good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys. Witches, weirdos, mischief making. It's okay to change your thinking. Good guys. Good guys, good guys.
Big up yourselves and welcome back to another episode of the Secret Society of Good Guys. As always, we are your good guys and back with us again by popular demand. What up, Donut?
Yo, big up, big up.
Nephala! How are you guys this Friday evening?
Fantastic.
Feeling like a rock star.
Fantastic.
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling new moon, you know?
Party like a rock star.
New moon.
Mm-hmm.
Is
How
it
you
a
feeling,
new-
Cheney? How are you feeling?
Petty.
Yeah, petty as
Petty as
fuck, huh?
But no, I'm doing really good. I'm excited to be here. It's always rad to hang out with you. It's like my favorite time of the week. It's like my best friends are all at a place and I get to come and hang out with them.
For real.
Yeah, and it seems like our audience is the bomb. And
We have the best audience.
We really do.
It is the
Big up
coolest.
yourselves, yo. For real.
I've seen a lot of people where they're like, oh, is this where the cool kids are at, on other shows? But like Salt and Peppa, like this song isn't for everybody, only the sexy people. That's how I feel about the Secret Society of Good Guys.
You can't sit with us. No, stop.
No, it's just like it's a vibe. It's a mood.
It reminds me of like ISS vibes. I don't know if any of
Yeah.
you guys spent a lot of time on ISS.
Yeah, I did a little bit.
What is
That
ISS?
surprises
In
me.
school suspension. And you hang out with like all the cool kids, like all the troublemakers, but like all the cool kids.
Is that like AIM?
What's AIM?
I thought AIM is like aim of the day, like aim today.
AIM is the AOL Instant Messenger.
Oh,
What?
there's that, and then there's the aim in school. When
just
I used to go to school,
Timestamped
like,
yourself.
aim, and it was the topic of the day, and what we would talk about. Our aim for the day is da 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 da. I remember that kind of aim.
All these are T-shirts I wore in elementary school, and they're all music, punk rock, Juggalo, Grateful Dead, and the most evil band, the Beatles.
Very evil, for sure. I agree with you on that.
They're the British invasion.
They're the CIA.
They're the MI6.
Oh, is that what they are?
I don't know. I think it's all the same.
Yeah,
I
right?
think to me
Mafias.
it's so wild that secret societies, but we know every name,
Yeah.
like every single one of the CIA, Mossad, MI6, Skull and Bones. We only know about the secret
Well,
one.
like I know all the words to songs. That's so many different words, especially like in a rap song. And it's like all that brain power could have gone somewhere else.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today earlier because I'm like singing along while I was getting ready to all the music that was playing. I'm like, how the fuck do I remember all these lyrics for all these years? Like songs from like 20 years ago is like still like perfect memory of them. Like
Rhythm and rhyme, man. That's why spells rhyme.
Yeah, powerful shit, really.
Have you guys ever done memory techniques?
Oh yeah.
Like
I
what?
read the whole Moonwalking with Einstein. It's badass.
Yeah, so Moonwalking with Einstein is one of the better examples. But so like Layla, if you're trying to, one of the better examples, if you're trying to remember a list of like 10 specific things, whether you're going to the store for a recipe or if you have to give a presentation at school or anything where you have to remember 10 things in kind of order. What you do is you memorize like the house you grow up in, or just like some house that like really means something to you back in childhood. And you imagine that the very first thing that you want to talk about or the first thing you want to buy on your list is right on your front, like your front door. But imagine it's like 5 times the size of your house. It's like blocking you from getting into your front door. So now you're not going to forget that thing. And then you imagine that you like somehow get by that thing, you go into the front door, and the first thing you see is the second thing on your list. And you keep doing that as you like walk through like an old house, and you make sure that it's always like over the top, it's big, it's exploding, it's like it's doing something really dynamic. And it makes it so hard to forget that you can just kind of like walk through this familiar place in your mind. And once you start getting good at it, you can start like tucking things away into like drawers, like, oh, this thing goes into the top dresser drawer and this thing goes into the garage, and you can kind of like map this out. And that's what they call a memory palace.
Holy crap.
I have to tell
if you do that, then you can remember all that stuff. Like, I don't think that there's necessarily a rap song taking up space. It's more like that rap song was like an exercise you went through. Like, you went to the gym and you did the rap song exercise, but you can like do every single thing in the gym if you really want to.
Huh. Interesting.
You want to know what the first thing is in my memory palace?
Huh.
Trump in a bathtub of cottage cheese.
What the fuck?
Because I've heard it so many times in the memory palace explanation of Juan, and he always uses Trump in the bathtub of cottage cheese to explain how he was just trying to go to the store and always forgets to get cottage cheese. So he just did this in his memory palace, but it's always there now in his memory palace. And because he told me it's always in mine.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
But that's just like one of like hundreds of different techniques. That's one of the more fun ones, though.
It's super effective. Like, because I did chicken bouillon, and I put a chicken in my mailbox that was pecking me when I was trying to check the mail. I was like, chicken's bullying me. It's easy to remember.
Wow. I
And
gotta
my
read that
kids
book.
remember that. They didn't even know what it was. They're like, I give them the same list, and it was like, send an email, and then like it was tasks with groceries and stuff, and they remembered every single one for days. It was awesome. And they're like, I don't even know what chicken bouillon is. It's like, it doesn't matter. You remembered it.
There's another part in that
Bouillon
one.
is like it's silver chicken.
I was just thinking of pecking
Only this
chicken, it's bullying.
That was
You know, the power of music is the memory palace of how we learn the ABCs is through the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Yeah.
So we have these feelings associated with music and memories, and in a movie you start crying not because of the imagery, but because the music comes in and speaks a language, and that language can be written down. Like musical notes is a language itself, and it plays your heartstrings or whatever. And they actually use the organs of humans and animals. I mean, I don't know if they used humans, but they definitely used animals. Why wouldn't they use humans? For the chords, for the pianos and harps and whatever. But the ABCs is imprinted into us, or I pledge allegiance, right? You're pretty much pledging allegiance to wherever you're born at, through religion or through nationality, wherever you are on the planet. So this is deeply imprinted in everybody, the music. And even Michael Jackson's head coach, who when Michael Jordan's head coach, when he wasn't in the zone, he would call this dude and he would remind him to listen to music when he was a kid, and none of that pump up music that's new. And you'll know what that vibe is because it'll put a smile on your face. And it makes me think about all the kids today are being programmed through the Baby Shark do. And it's like every single song, and I don't know what it is, but I'm sure there's
Baby Shark.
I bet you, Yeah, dude. It go hard. But like there gotta be an agenda at play.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
sing that
What
song to my
song?
cat.
You know what song is stuck in my head? Paranoid American made it. Plasma Bag.
You
Tom
got to be careful
Hanks,
with those.
Plasma Bag. I
Well,
hear
they're
it
all
once
just
and then that's it. It's stuck in
Earworms.
my
well,
head.
they're just trained on what's catchy, so you can just make them that are just catchy that don't even say anything. Those ones are really weird, where like you catch yourself singing along, you're like, wait, these aren't even real words.
No, I wrote the words to that.
No, that one was the best one.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
dude,
I
Cheney
love
hits
it.
me up. There was
Okay,
one that Cheney sent me like last week, and it was like some really detailed, complicated rap with like inner rhyme patterns, and AI actually did a really good job with it.
I have a whole idea because I want, but whatever. Thomas is just going to be my hype man when I do it, and I'm gonna come hard with some conspiracy hip hop, and then I'm gonna have the flyest video girls on the block, and I'm gonna drop some videos.
Eee.
Yeah, and then they'll have all conspiracy in the background.
I love it.
It'll be.
Dolphin,
It's gonna be dope.
Illuminati, eat in the
That
deep,
was
deep
all
sea.
Paranoid American. That was inspired by you.
I think the two of us teaming up would be something dangerous.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm so in. I can't wait for this world. I can't wait for 2024. I'm so glad it's finally here. I've been waiting for it for 2 decades.
Is this your year?
I don't know. It feels like it's gonna be.
This is
Feels,
my year.
feels
The dragon year.
totally.
The
Yeah,
dragon year.
year of the wood
Oh,
dragon.
And it
happy
starts
New
tomorrow
Year's Eve. Yeah, it's New Year's Eve tonight.
or tonight, yeah, at midnight.
You're not supposed to clean your house tomorrow, just so you all know.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Thank
You're
you.
not allowed to clean it on Chinese New Year. You can do it the day after or the day
All right,
before.
good to know. I did not know that.
I did not know that, but I am a dragon, so I got to
That's gonna
be
be hard to do.
surrounded in the red. That's what my friend told me. He lived in China for 15 years.
Yeah, red's the color.
He said
China.
if you're, I don't know if it goes for every zodiac sign of the Chinese, but if you're a dragon and it's the dragon year, then you want to wear red. But I don't know if it goes with the horse, if it's a horse year. I think it does, though. And over there in Asia, you also wear all new clothes the day of the year, of the new year.
Oh, a fresh outfit, like a first
Fresh
day of school outfit. I love that. I wish I would have known ahead of time. Maybe I'll dress tomorrow anyway, extra fresh.
I miss just
So-
going out and shopping for the notebooks and the pencils, to be honest.
Same. I love
the
the school
folders.
supplies. Yeah.
That was, I mean,
I'm such a nerd for that.
it was the only time like you were allowed to go out and just like go ham, like get markers, get pencils,
Yeah,
get it all.
Get a nice binder, get the cool dividers, you know.
That was the closest thing to
ones.
like supermarket sweet that I ever got to.
Same.
3-ring binder.
Yeah. What were the Trapper Keepers back in the day? Those are shit. That was the shit back in the day. We had the best things around the 80s and 90s, I will say.
Y'all are talking to a teacher, former teacher. You don't even know. School supplies were my jam.
I was a Montessori school preschool teacher for 2 years. I don't know if I told you
Definitely
guys.
counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was intense.
Wicked smart.
That almost like made me not want to have kids. I love kids, but that was like intense.
I don't get
2-year-olds. 2-year-olds. Do you know 2-year-olds? Oh my god, they were crazy, but they were great. They were great.
There seems I don't know. I don't have I'll just leave the I helped raise a 2-year-old, and 2-year-olds are a lot.
I love them.
I got a
They're-
2-year-old niece.
Don't they call it terrible twos or something?
They do.
Yeah.
And trying threes, like 0 to 4 is the best though. I don't know. I like little kids.
Mm-hmm. I do
Huh.
too, but
I like once they hit like where they get like reasoning and you start like 6, 7, 8. Then I'm
You get to
down.
watch the sponge of it all, though. Like, you get to watch them absorb everything, and then,
Like,
like, it's awesome.
yeah, but they also it's like you think things are gonna be a big deal, and they're like you plan this whole thing out, and they're like, on to the next. Like they're out. Like they have no attachment at all yet at that age of even like, I thought you wanted this thing. Or
Mhm.
like you cried about this thing for 2 hours and I got you this thing. Thought you were gonna be so happy. There's no validation from a 2-year-old.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
phone.
Someone at work today, we were talking about kids and whatnot. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to have one. They're like, people are just carelessly having kids that shouldn't be having kids, but people who should have kids are so aware of the world, but we need those people to produce kids so they can teach their kids the right way and those kids can influence the future. And I'm like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Like people who don't want kids are like so aware of the world that they're like, why would I bring a child into this in a sense? But like those people should be having kids because they would probably most likely raise them up to be like, just like
Because
knowing
you got a
children.
powerful portal, and you should bring in some powerful souls. That's what's up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I say to myself. Like, that's
So
why I have 5.
that kind of changed my perspective on things. I'm like, if you put it that way, yeah, I could raise some like
But to what end? To save this place or to go to Mars?
I
No,
mean,
just for your own entertainment. It's awesome.
well, like if I can influence people in a positive way, and if I can teach like, my little ones, hey, you could be this and this and this instead of like, you know, just to help better the world. We need
Couldn't you
more
do
people.
that anyway without having to shit a kid out? No offense.
Yeah, but then who's going to
It's such a
continue it?
romantic phrase.
I know. I'm like, I
I'm
didn't
just
shit no kids out. Thanks, Cheney.
well, no, I think it's obviously beautiful and it's obviously awesome, but to what end of like just to have you're in this like a cult way of like our cult's the cult that we are the ones that see things. I'm gonna have the kid that saves the world. Like just save the world or tell people what you know. If you really have the secrets, just tell your neighbor. You don't have to have a kid to do it.
But not necessarily save the world, but like, more of you out there. Like think of it like clone way, but like, you know, you raise it to be an individual like yourself because you want to see a betterment in the world. Obviously, I can't save the world. I wish I could like this, but like more of us instead of more of the NPCs, you know?
I think if you're gonna do
We'll
it, you
go
gotta go
extinct
ham.
then.
You gotta have
That's
like
okay
army
because then we
style
won't be here
families.
anymore. There will
That's
just be a
true.
couple of us alone
That's very
looking for
true.
each other.
So
While
true.
Like,
everyone's
is it a
watering
war?
crops with Gatorade.
Yeah.
Kids are honest too. Like they don't lie.
Brutally.
And there's this book called like Where the Wild Things Are or something. It's
Love it.
like got monsters on it. Right? It's a famous book and then it's a kid's book, but originally it wasn't for kids. And they were interviewing the author on Coast to Coast, and he said something that stuck with me. And this was years ago, that they're like, how do you feel that your book that you wrote for adults is a children's book, right? Trying to diss him. And he's all like, no, it's better because kids are honest. So I know it's a good book because they would tell you if it wasn't or not.
That's very true. Yeah. Like even video games, they would use children as like, testers. Hey, what do you think do you think this game will be a hit or not? So usually the people who would test the games out are not adults, but the children.
I just talked to Christopher Knowles and I watched one of his podcasts and it was absolutely like mind boggling how he was talking about, because I'm very much into the horrorcore scene growing up, Juggalo, ICP. It's all about just murder and mayhem, or Grand Theft Auto. And this was really pushed on my generation and culture through the album covers and all this. And he was saying that when they did the test screening, not even the test screening, when they released the Night of the Living Dead, they released it to 9 and 10-year-olds at a matinee for kids. So that's who was going to go see it. So it was kind of like a traumatizing, MK Ultra traumatizing thing through the cinema or through maybe the music. Because once we hit the age 7, then everything that we write in our journal carries on with us today. If we write in our journals today, it's the same problems we had at 7, because that's when all the traumatizing and brainwashing and imprinting takes place. And this is why you got Aristotle or whoever said it, that give me a child at 7 and I'll show you the man, or whatever that famous saying is. It's been understood for a long time, this imprinting. And I was imprinted with the most brutal music. So
well, I think you could make an argument, though. Would you rather have been programmed by ICP or programmed by New Kids on the Block and Backstreet Boys?
Right. Well, so that goes into the
Or
imprinting.
Disney.
So, like my culture, I believe my culture,
Was that a slide?
My generation was programmed for 9/11 to go to Afghanistan and get the opium. And the culture after me was probably programmed with to go in to get the pharmaceuticals or something. I don't know where they get those at, but each generation is programmed for a certain agenda. If it's the hippies or if it's whatever it is. What are people being programmed with now? I don't know.
You know what I was programmed with? Do you guys remember there was this commercial and it was like a drug? It was a diet pill. And I always remember this commercial because it was a capsule and it had like little blue and yellow beads in it, and it would spill out on a black table. And I remember always thinking I needed them and that I was fat, and I was like 4 years old because it was a diet pill and it looked like candy.
Right. Yeah. When I was a kid, I was like visualizing like Kurt Cobain overdosing, like how cool that would be.
Wow.
I know.
That was funny. Rhonda, that was fucking funny.
I know. I feel like I have to ask that question because it caught me off guard.
Yeah, for real.
Like, would you rather is such a talent. I have to tell you already. Would you rather is a huge talent. When you can actually come up with something that makes people like stop and have to question, and like you put two things perfectly on a scale. So, would you rather be molested by Michael Jackson or P. Diddy?
That one's easy. Michael Jackson all
Michael
day.
Jackson, bro.
Why?
P.
Less
Diddy
threatening,
looks,
cooler toys.
P. Diddy just freaking creeps me out, man.
Less
Like,
threatening, cooler toys is the quickest way to say it. It does seem less scary. Like he'd be like, "Hey, Cheney, you want to maybe go on my Ferris wheel?" And I'd be like, "Okay."
Okay.
I would totally pick Michael Jackson too.
For sure.
But doesn't Puff Daddy for real seem like he's smooth everywhere and like he probably smells good?
Yeah, but he gives me like fucking rapey, like
he has somebody else holding an
torture
umbrella
or
over
something.
him. It's
I don't
weird.
know. Yeah, like
You know Michael Jackson smells like cotton candy all the time, though, right?
Man,
does he?
He has to.
I wonder. No, I don't wonder. Ugh, forget it. Fuck that.
I know. I watched a Would You Rather the other. I won't even say what it was. It's too early in the show for it. I'm sorry to get it thrown off.
Michael Jackson was set up.
For sure, he was set up. I agree.
Michael Jackson was the perfect Hollywood ritual, and he was totally set up. Michael Jackson was framed.
Here's a question. Why doesn't his daughter look anything like him? Like at all?
Because Michael Jackson is black.
Yeah, but like nothing at all at all.
Oh, well, his daughter has nothing. I don't think that that is
blood related.
I didn't know he had a daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't.
Well, he married a woman with kids, didn't he?
Yeah, and Donald Trump said they were getting it on at Mar-a-Lago.
Okay.
Wait, but isn't that his birth children?
Well,
No.
No?
that's like his nurse from like I think she was the nurse at the place he got plastic surgery a whole bunch of times. Was the mother of those 3 kids. But
Oh, I thought
Paris, he named his first daughter Paris because him and little Kathy are best friends, and so they both named their first daughters Paris. And then he has Blanket.
Blanket. That's actually cute.
That's
Blanket.
creepy.
Is that who he hung out the window?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not the baby's real name. I think the baby's real name is Prince.
Mm.
I think.
Prince
I don't know.
Blanket.
I think he calls him Blanket because they're I don't know. Like I don't remember the other kid's name, but Paris, she sings.
Yeah.
She's a little witchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I follow her on Instagram.
What was this thing on Twitter or Instagram? Everyone talking about how
Drake.
Michael Jackson went
Oh.
live on Instagram or something. Well, yeah, that Drake thing too, and his homunculus between his legs.
You guys know about this Drake?
Not about Nick's Cannon.
No, but for
Drake.
real, there was like this whole post about like, oh my God, Michael Jackson was live on Instagram. And it was like for a brief moment, but I don't know if it's true or not. I just saw the post like kind of like spreading around. I don't know if you guys heard anything about that. No, it's just my algorithm probably.
Have you guys ever heard of Michael Trapson? Trapson?
No.
If not, it's just worth a rabbit hole one day, but it's pretty spectacular.
Michael
Have you heard of
Trapson.
Hank Trill?
He's like it's like a trill Michael Jackson that he's got
he
like
looks
a
like him?
Mac 5.
Oh, well, there's a character on social media who looks just like Michael Jackson. Like no surgery, no nothing. Like he was born that way. I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about, but he's just like literally a Michael Jackson doppelganger.
At what point? Like Michael Jackson in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, or like the 2000s?
I like the
like what does this kid look like? Because if you were born and you look like the 2000s version of Michael Jackson, like whoo, Sissy Spacek. But if you were like, you know, born as like the 70s
That is
version,
Sissy Spacek. I've never. Wow.
Sissy
I'm never gonna
Spacek with
unsee that now.
Shampoo eyes, or what are those eyes called? Donut with
That
the
weird
really,
nose.
yeah, they're really big.
Sampuco eyes. Yeah,
Sampako.
that chick in the beginning talk about Britney. She got them big time.
Mhm.
While you're playing, I like that clip.
Is she
though.
gonna save us?
Yeah,
Juliette
and then she
Lewis.
starts doing the dance, but I think you took out the dance part. It looks
Mhm.
like she's about to start dancing. Michael Jackson's
Headbanging.
parents lived in my neighborhood when I was growing up, and rumor has it that Michael bought the house right in front of the elementary school I went to, which is kind of weird.
Michael Jackson.
But
and
Las
Pepsi.
Vegas is hella weird.
Yeah.
I've had the FBI running in the back of my house because they were busting some kind of rink or something in these big mansions behind us.
He just wanted to make sure they got to school quickly after the sleepovers, right?
Well, the thing is that he owned the home, but he didn't live there. Like he had it though. That's what someone told me. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not
When
a
I
real estate
lived
agent.
in Los Angeles, in my bathroom, once you sat on the toilet, there was an 11x14 in a frame of Michael Jackson's mugshot.
That's hilarious.
And 100% of the time, people would come out of the bathroom and have some deep thought about Michael Jackson. And this is the why I did it. It was just like you were face to face with Michael Jackson, and it was like him with his plastic surgery. His eyelids are all the way gone, and he like has. I'm gonna pull it up actually, and I feel
Is
like
it
we should all
plastic
share it.
surgery, or is it the theory
Or
that
a
you
mask.
had that he's just put on masks all these years and the real identity of him is just hidden?
I think he's just a genius, and he's like,
Yeah.
yo, if I bleach my skin white, I mean, I'm gonna stand out more than everybody.
Yeah.
Like he created a brand. Like, if we just take away everything and like, if
Did
you
he
look
bleach
at-
his skin for real, or is it just like great makeup-y? Because
I
he's
mean,
very pale.
That nose didn't naturally deteriorate, so
I don't know. It's just weird. The whole thing is just weird.
Oh my
What
gosh,
about
some of the pictures that came up are cracking me up. They're not real at all. I just have to pull up this one. Oh my god. The internet is like it's such a jerk, but it's so funny.
I like the theory that
Jared,
he was
Jared,
just trying to turn into
Jared,
Elizabeth
Jared.
Taylor.
Well, like think about
Oh my goodness gracious.
he looks like
That's not real.
the Night
That's not
Stalker.
real. That's so funny though. The real
That's
one
like E.T. Go Home.
You know
Yeah.
who it is though. That's what's crazy is by
The
seeing
next-
that you're like, it's just a caricature of who it is.
Yeah, that's the real one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. It's good
Is
branding.
it?
You know, in those he does look like a burn victim though. Like because he did shit in that Pepsi commercial.
But
He's
that
probably
is
that
way,
guy.
that is
What's his
years
name?
and years before
Memories.
Yeah. I remember. I was in 3rd grade, I think.
yeah,
Oh,
he
I
is
hated
just
3rd grade.
oh, he tried to turn himself into Elizabeth Taylor and then he just turned himself into Sissy Spacek from Carrie.
Oh my goodness.
What
That
about
is
Janet Jackson at the Super
fire.
Bowl revealing
Her boob?
the
Her
yes,
titty?
and it had Ishtar, the star of Ishtar on it, the fertility goddess.
There's some debate over whether she was in on that or not. I think it's obvious.
She
that
was
of course she was.
definitely in
Yeah,
on it.
totally.
Oh, even the channel was in on it. Even NFL was in on it.
Because if she wasn't in on it, right? If you try to do something like that in 2020, wouldn't that be like you're going to jail?
Well, first thing, you wouldn't have your nipple covered if it was an accident. Why
And
would
if
you
it
have your
was
nipple
Just had
covered?
her
why
nipple
is
pierced,
it?
right?
Yeah, why is it Ishtar star?
Yeah.
It's a very specific
Specific.
symbol.
You guys aren't wearing your Ishtar nipple covers right now?
It's not the Super Bowl
How'd
yet.
you know?
No.
You gotta wait for the
Those are only
11th.
for special occasions.
I think there's going to be a fire ritual at the Super Bowl or around, maybe not there, but like along because it's the wood
Gonna get
dragon.
at the end of this song.
I'm making a note here to maybe release
That
some
seems like a
Ishtar
bit
nipple
much.
stars.
But
That's
yeah,
a nice boob, though. That's a nice, like, boob.
does she seem surprised about it, or does she seem like she's working out? Like, I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, why did she? No.
I don't want to. Yeah, she's like, should I? Is that out enough? Does that look okay? Or is she like, oh shit, my tits out? I wish I could stare at it longer, but I don't want to get in trouble.
If that happened today, it's not even shocking.
No, but the big part about that moment in the Super Bowl is that changed the FCC rules across the board immediately. That was like but they also said it was the biggest moment in TiVo, I think, or the reason YouTube took off. I don't remember what one of those things, but
I think it was the YouTube one.
It was the reason that like everyone went back to YouTube, like, oh my God, I got to see that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was the
wow.
YouTube. I remember us talking about this like way back. And you brought
Well,
that
you
up.
got some leaked photos of Taylor Swift and Drake. Like, that's all, in my opinion, the same thing as this Janet Jackson thing to get eyeballs onto.
Look here, not there.
Yeah. But I looked up, I Googled Drake and nothing popped up. So, like, they scrubbed the internet. Or I also looked up Taylor Swift, too. I couldn't find none of these pictures that everybody was raving about.
What's the picture with Taylor Swift?
They are all these AI generated photos of her being very provocative. And
Do you see? I don't like this. Cheney even brought this up. Like this whole like
This is
blaming
why they're giving
AI.
it to us.
And it's like, why are they like all of a sudden blaming AI? And it's like the idea of like if the whole Pizzagate shit happened and all of like Jeffrey Epstein conspiracies and all the blackmail, she said that's easy for them just to say, oh, it's AI and just blame AI and just get off the hook. It's like
yeah, AI still
they're
can't
trending it.
give you, two hands that look normal or
I think they're prepping
less
for
than
it
3
little by
feet.
little. I think
But it's
they
getting
can.
better. Like,
Yeah.
look
It
at
is.
Amy Winehouse, God Pill Angel. It
Ooh, I
didn't do
like
bad,
But
I like that.
right? It didn't do
Mhm.
bad that time, but then it did some bad. Like I said, I said, What if like Elvis ran a secret society to AI?
Oh,
Look at
well,
it.
That's
It
pretty fun.
it's
I
working
mean,
on 5 hands, but or 5 fingers, but it's like not a thumb yet.
Oh, was it your show that I saw that
Yeah, that's
what was it your show that said that Trump is Elvis?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry, wait, what?
That Trump is Elvis, or Trump tweeted
Oh
it.
yeah, I saw that.
That's nuts.
yeah, he tweeted out, and when I was at a Trump rally, he played so many Elvis videos before he went on stage. Like
In
so
Florida?
many.
This is like a Florida thing?
Yeah, and it was like just
It's
recently.
channeling the king energy, man.
Yeah, what if he comes out with like the sequin jacket? That would be next level.
That would. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
you're
vote
like,
for him.
like how like maybe I'll play like, some like hip hop, some Wu-Tang to get in the zone. He's probably like playing like some Elvis, and he's just like, oh yeah.
What if we were just going to play with energies though?
Hmm.
Couldn't we theorize if the Beatles were the biggest, if they were the second British invasion, they had to pluck the energy of Elvis out of the country before that could happen. So if they wanted that to happen again, would the energy of Elvis still have to stay? And so what if something else carries that energy? We talk about relics or agregores or servitors or things of this nature. Is there an Elvis energy that represents Americana in this way that had to be
Yeah.
gone for the British to invade and that could never leave again, but they had to like somehow hold it in Vegas?
Well, because energy can't be destroyed, it's just transformed. So yeah, I like that idea. That it's like the whole pendulum swing of it all is like Vegas. Yeah, that it keeps it there. It keeps it on lock.
Yeah, the law of thermodynamics.
Do you guys think the way they bury or cremate or whatever the ceremony that they choose to be put in has to do anything with energy regeneration or whatever? Because I feel like being buried is a psyop in a sense, like we're doing it wrong kind of idea.
I think about that all the time because like you don't get cremated in the Jewish religion. So when I
Yeah.
think about it, I'm like, you're turning into ash to ash. I'm like, maybe that's the way to go. Because then like you won't come back or somehow. But like I want to get buried in the ground because then I'll turn into a tree.
Or the idea of like how kings and queens were never buried, but they were just like put on a
Right.
just on a stone, whatever, and just
They're
left
like
there.
mummified, right?
Yeah, they just left them there,
There's
not
something up with
covered.
it, for
So
sure.
it's like, is it like if we're putting us in a box or in the ground, is the energy staying in there? Can they leave?
Right.
Because
Like
the
if
whole
you're in the
idea
box, how are you gonna
in Islam, they have this thing, but this is in the hadiths, it's not in the Quran. That's why I'm just like, I don't know if this is true, but they say in the hadiths that when a body is buried and they recite the prayers, you can actually hear the soul hit the, I guess the, what's it called? The fucking thing that they
yeah,
put you
the
in?
coffin?
Coffin. There you go, the coffin. So you'll hear it, they say. And I'm just like, that's kind of weird.
It's
That's kind
not
of like,
called coffin now, it's called COVID symptoms.
oh, who
Oh,
said the
sorry.
Yeah,
hadiths
that's
are
why
very,
I don't want no coffin. I just want to be in the dirt, turn into a tree, and it just
Isn't there
Did
rules
you hear
if
about
you
that company that was like taking people and allegedly burying them under trees, like planting a tree above them? And you guys
yeah.
have heard of that whole burial method, right? Did you hear that what they were doing? They found
I,
like
it's probably
90 some over like 100 bodies or something like in their freezers and stuff because they weren't actually even doing it.
oh yeah, for sure. That's
I
why I
got in
don't got
trouble.
that like on my license. I ain't gonna do no donating the donor thing.
What about if you bury somebody on your land? Like there's tax-free land for graveyard.
Yeah, didn't Trump bury somebody in a golf course or something?
Buried a lot of people.
Yeah. Who was it? His mom or no?
No, his ex-wife.
Ex-wife. There, yeah, there you go.
His ex-wife, with her
His
headstone on her feet.
Yeah.
Headstone on the feet?
Yeah, I think so, and I think so.
It's genius.
And also, what are those huge house-like cemetery plots? What are those called?
Mausoleums.
Yeah, mausoleums. Are the bodies out, or are they put in somewhere, or is it just
They
the
put
stuff
in the walls.
in
Like,
the walls?
yeah, they have to do that in some states because they can't bury them deep enough to not float. Like, bury caskets deep enough, so
Interesting.
I
I
just
always
don't
wonder maybe the Egyptian mummies had it the most correct, because if you think about it, if someone were to bring a human being back, like they would use someone that had like the oldest DNA preserved, right? And that would kind of be these mummies.
Yeah, well, out here in Arizona, they be, you got to pay some money, but they'll chop the head off and then they'll freeze the brain out here and they put it on ice. But if you got a lot of money, they'll do the whole body.
You're talking about the cryogenics?
If you got
Yes.
Disney money.
I heard a really interesting theory about cryogenics that I guess people that are into it about this thing called first in last out theory, or last in first out. And it means that if you were to get cryogenically frozen today and then they figure out how to thaw people out, like you would actually get thawed out before Walt Disney gets thawed out, because you've got a better chance of surviving the process than he does. So they would actually put you first. I don't know. I always thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
You can also be turned into a diamond if you wanted to.
That's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
what
all
me
these
and my
diamonds
siblings,
that
I think,
people
are
are
doing with
wearing,
my dad.
Is that what's happening? People are wearing all these diamonds. They're just like,
Yeah, that's why they say the blood diamond came from, and they say a lot of these elites are wearing their like first kills or their firstborn on them.
Yeah.
like a trophy.
Yeah.
It's
That
nuts.
makes sense.
And so they say that a lot of the elite have like a red blood ring.
Right.
And
They
so
all
that's
got
like
that.
their initiation ring.
Right.
And they say that it's a whole different kind of stone.
That's nuts. Yeah, so like Valentine's Day coming up, and the Bears, they made diamonds they brainwashed everybody because their diamonds are super abundant, but they made it like it wasn't abundant. And using the programming of the music of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, really imprinted the whole place as we're coming up on Valentine's Day.
They did the same thing with oil. They said, "Oh, it came from dinosaurs." Like, and then the prices went up because it's fossil fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just saying.
The immaculate inception is what I like to call the like material girl. The diamonds are a girl's best friend spell, because there's always a blonde that they give us every decade, and they're not quite sure who we're going to grasp onto every time. And sometimes it's somebody they don't necessarily plan. So they always have to have a few out there. They give us a Britney and Christina because Madonna's a lot of shoes to fill, and they don't necessarily plan on Gaga being all she becomes. They're like, oh, we weren't ready for this. We thought they were all going to stay, like we'd be able to, but they always have a blonde ambition. They always use a false Madonna, I believe. And it's the Marilyn Monroe, in a weird way. Kim Kardashian is a big, I think the K with the witches in Hollywood's a big thing, especially if all of their family members have K names. So I always say the Kardashians are the same as the Richards. These are the two families that I think everything that Kris is doing is she is little Kathy, and she are doing her best job at being big Kathy. The Hilton like legacy and all that stuff, like she turned all her daughters into Hollywood, and in 2 generations her granddaughter married a Rothschild. So this is like their magic, how I feel like it all kind of plays in, and I don't know.
And Kardashian be doing the summoning of Marilyn Monroe and
Wearing
channeling
a
her
dress and trying
Well, she
to
had a hair,
with her
some
hair.
hair
Yeah,
too. She's like, I'm gonna do some magic with this, and I'm gonna see if I. What did she say exactly? Something about
she's gonna channel
channel
Marilyn
Marilyn
Monroe.
Monroe with her hair. I'm
Yeah,
like, ooh, you witch, you know hair magic?
Mhm. I
Yeah.
know hair's
there a
powerful.
thing called hair magic?
Well, yeah. There's techniques. You use a egg with nails, and you wrap the hair around the nails and pierce the egg in there, and use Menses blood to dip the egg in, and then put it in a bag and lock it up and stuff. There's all kinds of.
That's actually how
hard-boiled
they
egg?
serve them at Denny's too.
Yeah, what kind of egg? Does it have to be a
Chicken egg,
certain?
chicken egg, well, whatever the magician requests. Like if it's a quail
Is
egg,
that moons
chicken
over
egg.
my necromancy?
Huh?
And like, would it have to be a hard-boiled egg?
Depending on what the magician requires and the type of magic it is, because there's different techniques and different, just like one little detail off will be a different type of spell, apparently. So hair, nails, all that good stuff. Menses.
Interesting.
Pictures,
Like,
clothing.
what kind of spell do they do with all the snot in the tests?
Well, what they give you with the test is one thing.
Right.
What kind of magic is
Like,
in there?
think
I
about
don't know.
all the boogers that went out
DARPA.
to DARPA.
DARPA.
Booger magic right there.
So if you have a baby conceived on Valentine's Day, it'll be a little Scorpio. I think that's
I got one.
interesting.
She's
And
born the day after you.
little scorpion baby. And if you were to do an Ishtar ritual around Easter and you had that little baby, you would give birth to it maybe around Christmas time. And don't you think the Super Bowl ritual could be going into that ritual? Like we're setting up for extra fertile bowls so that we can
Yeah, we'll know. We'll
have
know like Usher's performing and how fertile is Usher, unless he's the guy who's going to be fertilizing whatever, however that works, right? Seeding the thing. He is sexy, right? He's a sex icon. So it could be a very fertile season, because when they had the Weeknd, I don't think girls are very attracted to the Weeknd. He's not a sex icon like Usher. And that was a not fertile ritual, right? They even showed everybody on the field collapsing, all the men. And so with Rihanna, she is a sex symbol. She was removed off Twitter for inciting horniness. So she's probably the one who's harnessing the Elvis, because he did the same thing with them hips. Elvis hips don't lie. But Usher, this is like, he's a sex symbol. So this could be a big fertility. That's probably why they picked him.
And to usher in the new Swift system,
Right,
baby.
right. There you go.
What
That's
about
exactly
Fat
what it is.
Tuesday with
Wordplay.
all of this, though? You know, because it is Mardi Gras, so Fat Tuesday.
Oh, so Mardi Gras too. So you got all
Yeah.
this energy
A
that
lot of sex energy.
King
Holy
cakes
shit.
and the baby and the king cakes, you know, that's so
because
weird.
the ritual, it actually seems to work scientifically, that the ancients would go into the field and have an orgy because it woke the plants up. And they've done scientific studies with these Clive Baxter researchers where they would put lie detector test on the plant, and when they brought up sex, an orgone energy that William Reich talked about would excite the plants. So just
Oh,
speaking
damn, I'm
about
gonna talk dirty to my plants.
Ooh.
right, yeah. So
Bet.
you know they say to talk to your plants,
I'm gonna
but
have lots of plants in my bedroom.
I do talk to my plants, but now I want to be like, what's
yeah,
up, sexy?
yeah. So
I got some dirty thoughts about you.
JOI the plant for sure is maybe
Bust on that Secret Life of Plants by Stevie Wonder double album.
Yeah, Secret Life of
Put on a little
Plants
Rick
goes
James.
into this though.
Poor Seymour pushed the broom, nothing
the
in his
football
room but
field-
gloom and doom. Then he lit
Are
a
we going
fuse
there
and
again?
give him room. He
Push
Let's
started
call
it.
it
his
plots or
cousin holding
something.
Push it
down.
good.
Or
But
vagine.
this is what's happening. That's why you see Ishtar on the titty of Janet Jackson. That's why Kendrick Lamar makes Ishtar star during the Super Bowl, because they would go to the fields and have these orgies so they would get the orgone energy of the plants for a good season. And what a field, it's a football field, and you got all this eyes on it. You got, you know what I mean, Taylor Swift. I mean, it's absolutely, that's exactly what's going on. That's crazy.
For sure.
Isn't the Bacchus Festival also the New Orleans, like Mardi
Ooh.
Gras? And then don't we attach that to Dionysus and Maenads and maybe Taylor Swift again?
Oh, right around the Super Bowl, man. That's kind of
What is
interesting.
can you inform me on this Bacchus?
The Bacchus Festival is kind of like a god. Let me see, because it's like of wine.
Bacchanalia.
Yeah, it's wine and spirits and like fertility and let's see.
The followers of Bacchus were all women usually, and they carried around these long sticks called thyrsus that like had a pine cone shape at the end, but they really were kind of not into men.
Bacchus, also known as
Subjugating
Dionysus,
men.
was the Greek god of wine, inebriation, fertility, and theater. He is known to be joyous and kind to those who admire him, yet cruel and mischievous to those who cross him. Scenes from Greek mythology were often found in the private spaces of aristocrats. Classical images were used to depict the patron's interest or triumphs. The patron may have valued their finer things in life and saw Bacchus as the perfect allegory for wealth and excess.
Because
So.
if you think about it, you'd have to have some sort of like a luxurious lifestyle in order to even be able to consider like, I'm just going to be drunk for the rest of this day. Like you can kind of do it now because you can just go and grab like a 6-pack or something. But like back in the day, to just be hammered all the time, you know, Bacchus style, that means that you were also going to be vulnerable all the time and you wouldn't probably survive that long. But if you were like high class, then you could just have like a whole swarm to take care of everything for you. So you could just stay inebriated all the time. And there's a lot of connections with Bacchus and Dionysus and even Demeter with, you know, sort of being into these inebriated states, and a lot of like the mystery school things. They would usually harken back to Bacchus and Dionysus.
This is Bacchus by Michelangelo, and look at this little weird demon. And also, what is going on? Like, what is happening with Bacchus? What is
That's Pan, isn't it?
Where's his penis?
That is what I was looking at.
What
Well, you know, back
that's
in
a
the day,
vagina labia
That's
thing.
a vagina. It's the
situation.
worst part of
He's
No, that
tucking
was
it in the
classy.
Bacchus.
Oh, that's what was classy back in the day.
Very
That's why
clever.
all the old statues were tinier, because that was the thing.
Was it?
You know what
Yeah.
the worst
Yeah,
idea is to
isn't
me?
as hung as he should be either. I'm
No,
sorry, but
y'all.
That's a labia.
Thank you, Layla.
That's a
That is the
labia.
Thank you. That is the worst part of it's the like a hanging labia and balls. It's like
I
the
think
least
he's just turtled
most
up right there.
flattering thing.
Nah,
of-
that's fucking labia right there.
I don't know. It looks
Mine
like
sees
a
what it
cow
wants
udder
to
or
see.
something.
Because that's not balls. Look at it. That's not balls. Those are flaps. Like thick flaps. Go look at it. I know what balls look like, and I know what flaps look like. Those are flaps. Flappity flap flap.
It's sick.
Why didn't you zoom in?
Are we talking about Michelle Bacchus?
Oh, I was on a different page all the way zoomed in.
Wrong page.
I know. Let me pull it back up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You
No,
guys
they gotta
go
see
on.
this. They gotta see it.
This is research we're doing here.
Yes,
Yeah.
they gotta see this. Mud flap, somebody said.
Bacchus by Michelangelo.
Bacchus balls.
Yeah, let me find a good picture of it because Layla is so right. I was all the way zoomed in all alone. I thought you guys were all with me on this quest, and I was like,
I
how do you
saw
guys
it.
not see what she sees?
Yeah.
Who didn't see it?
I mean, the
Those are
mind
definitely
sees
not
what it
balls.
wants. The mind
Listen,
sees what it wants to see.
balls have like they look like they were sewn somewhere. Like they have this thing where it's just like, where it's like a walnut almost, like it's
It's got a
a
seam.
seam. Yeah. That is a sliver.
I want the real one. I feel like the remake of it, they're even like, whoa, what's going on down here? So they try to fix it. Like if you go and you're like, I want Bacchus by Michelangelo in my house. They're like, we got to add something to this. So I have to find the
I want an
original.
updated version, please.
Yes, they're like, this is not okay.
Give me the Drake treatment.
Somebody pin the flappity flap so I can like cut that part out and put in it.
I like how
We're
you.
at exactly an hour in.
Okay, good.
All
Now
right,
I
nice.
found
Okay.
a good picture. Now I can share it. I had to, it was a lot of research. You don't know
Yes,
how much
roast beef curtain.
stone genitalia I just had to look at. Okay.
Lick at? Is that what you said?
Look at
Thank-
it. Look at it. Look at it. Those are fucking labias.
If you emailed me the picture, I could throw it into Photoshop and do some color adjustments to it to really bring out the. We're gonna need to darken the blacks to really get out the.
Do you see
Figure
the?
out
It
what
has
the
a
fuck is
gap
going
like
on with
my
Bacchus.
teeth, like right there, like right there. You can see like a nice gap.
And look at that belly.
I don't know.
And look at Pan.
I say the same thing about Archangel Michael because it looks like a Michelle most of the time, and I'm convinced it's Michelle and not Michael.
Look at
Archangel.
Pan though, like on the log.
That's no
Ah.
hog. That's no log. That's a hog.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a
That's
good-
look at that.
Wait a minute.
Is
What
supposed to be there.
What is he sitting on that thing?
Yes,
That's some Nambla stuff.
That's
I think Pan's like
Michelangelo.
thousands of years
that's
old
a
though.
Drake incident right there. Looking like a Drake incident.
All right, Bacchus, the Bacchus Festival. Yeah. So it does seem like it goes with the Super Bowl and something with fertility. And
Mhm.
all these awards seem like they're around the exact same time.
Yeah, and I think the sacrifice is going to be a fire sacrifice because it's the wood dragon. So, just from listening to other people, these aren't my ideas. What I like to do is like listen to everybody and then kind of mix it all up, and then you can find something. Whoa, what's that?
That's what I asked AI about the Super Bowl.
Are you serious? And that's what popped up. There you go. It's going to be a fire ritual at the Super Bowl.
Well,
Or
you
It's
know
a
what's
rock star.
interesting? They already
Maybe
had
not
like a
that.
warning. Like,
Really?
yeah, there was like a news press conference about the Super Bowl, and I guess I don't know who it was, either the governor or somebody speaking on I don't know how many thousands of people at the event, but then another 600,000 people just traveling to the city just to watch the event within the area, So he said, yeah, we're on high alert. We don't know what to expect, but apparently they're preparing for something to happen. So I don't know.
Someone was
Yeah.
asking you about the earthquakes, Donut, and I don't know what they're talking about specifically, but there was an earthquake last week at 11 minutes 55 seconds, and then I was talking to Cheney the other night, and she had an earthquake.
I know. Weren't you guys streaming live and you were in the
Yeah.
earthquake?
Yeah.
Yeah, during
then
her
Cheney had one.
earthquake. But yeah,
And then her and I
Florida.
were video chatting, and she had one.
What did? Oh,
I
Chan.
can't.
People say yoga is satanic, but this cat be doing the yoga poses. Look at that.
Cats have the best paws.
He
I
also
call that a
does,
stretchy.
he also does this.
So cute.
Sup?
Hey, kitty.
Wait. Sup?
Hey.
Racist.
So cute.
He's flicking people off. He's holding up a communist fist.
Oh, it was no,
Just a little chill.
it was the third realm.
The third cat right.
Yeah.
If cat right is wrong, I don't
You
want
can
to
tell
be
that I
right.
do this with them all the time.
He seems to like it, yeah.
And get you
I
thrown in
know.
jail in the UK.
You look at him, he's given up on life. He's like,
Mhm.
okay,
Oh,
it's
I'm
that
like,
time.
I need to stretch because I think I pulled my back out doing that.
The Las Vegas, I think, is an interesting place to be holding the Super Bowl because of
Oh
the
yeah, it's in Vegas.
yeah, I think the seniors of it all. I think the paradise, it being in paradise outside of Las Vegas and right by the Sphere. And the first group that played the Sphere for a long time was U2, which now they're telling us the next group that's going to play there and do residency is going to be The Dead.
The Grateful Dead?
Well, how grateful is it?
Mm,
Not so much.
That's pretty tight.
It's not even The Dead and Family. I think it's The Dead and Factory or The Dead and Team or The Dead and Members.
I heard it's actually going to be CNC Music Factory and The Dead.
Who's going to be singing the national anthem?
Gonna make you sweat till you bleed.
Do we know that? Who's going to be
That's
singing?
a good question.
Oh my gosh, the CNC Music Factory was 33 the whole time.
I wonder.
Things that make you go,
3-3, baby. That's my birthday.
Rabbi McKentry doing a jubilee, 50 years. It will mark her 50-year journey singing the Star Spangled Banner from 1974 in Oklahoma. That's a great question. I'm going to have to decode this chick. What happened 50 years ago? Because it's the jubilee. Oh my goodness.
Whatever happened to what was that guy, Rick something, who hosted the Oscars, and he said, "Oh, this is going to be your last year. Enjoy it, guys," and calling everybody out and calling them all pedophiles live on
Ricky Gervais.
Oh yeah.
yeah, and like
shout out to Ricky
He has
Gervais.
a comedy special on Netflix.
Here we are though, still. They're still, having these award sessions. And he's like, "Yeah, well, enjoy your last year." And I was like, yes, they're done for. But they're still
He
there.
created The Office.
Oh, he was the creator of that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm looking at Google, like that name that you brought up, not the who's singing the national anthem.
Mhm.
And when I went to Google, they got the Year of the Dragon
Reba.
colors, and it's gold and red. And isn't that like the Super Bowl teams too?
Yeah.
Gold and red?
Both.
Yeah,
Both of them.
they're both leaning those for sure.
But that's all coincidence.
Kansas City is you have the 11-3, the 3-11, I think, in reverse. And the Raiders are gold. The 49ers are 13, numerology wise. And the Raiders themselves used to be called the Seniors. And we're being raided by seniors from the southern border right now as we speak.
Well, I heard a theory that the reason why all of this immigration is happening globally is just to have everyone set up for the system, for the digital system. The more people that they can get into the banking system with their names, the quicker that they can have everyone implemented in the new world-wide agenda.
That makes sense because a lot of the world's unbanked and they want to bank every right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So they're like pushing like, "Oh, terrorists are coming. They're going to kill us all." But I think that was just a ploy, not only just for the election, but also to get as many people registered in the system as possible from rural areas and whatnot.
Well, Taylor won. I was saying like the most entertaining outcome's usually the outcome, and Taylor won her award. She broke her 13 because that's her favorite number. And Miley always sits in chair 3. Those are all things like stuck in my head now. But so she did win that. If the 49ers did just have China in San Francisco and they cleared the streets for China, they did a whole ritual to make sure that they didn't see one homeless person anywhere there. So it almost seems like it's set up. There's also a little China in San Francisco that I don't think is represented anywhere in Kansas City. So if I'm writing the Super Bowl by the powers that be, I think it's all about China. And I think that they'd want to give, like, San Francisco has always been China's. I think
It
Pelosi and
has.
family,
Yes.
they're linked up with China. The husband's a billionaire because he's running the China high-speed rail. That's why all those houses lit on fire all the way down the coast, is because it's all the spaces that they want to run that rail across. So
When Clinton was in office, he sold a lot of the West Coast to China. I think they got an entire ex like naval base so that they could import goods, and technically as it gets imported, since they own this like tiny little chunk of land, they don't have to pay the same type of import. I don't know if it's still in business now, but that was like a big scandal in the 90s because it was like this little loophole where it's like, well, technically it didn't come by, over. It landed in like this little mini China first, and then it went into the United States.
and Obama sold the port of Long Beach to China, and Trump came in and said it was against national security and got it back. There's also
Go
the
Daddy Trump.
PPE that all tried to come on shore, that they were like, look he's such a racist. He's leaving those boats out there in the middle of the ocean because he's like, we'll make our own PPE. Thanks. I think it's a war from within for a long time. I think that China ran our railroads originally. And I also really believe that Japanese internment camps were just Chinese military bases in our country, and we're that small-minded we wouldn't have known the difference.
You know what's interesting? I recently discovered that there's NYPD throughout the world. This is a true thing, like NYPD bases throughout the world. I recently discovered this. Someone was talking about this on TikTok, and I'm like, why would there be the NYPD in Europe and in, Turkey and throughout the world? This is an actual thing.
Isn't that just CIA or FBI?
I don't know. I have to go down that rabbit hole myself and just, bring it up in one of the future episodes that we have. But this is a real thing. Like, I did a quick search. I was like, holy shit, this is real.
But NYPD would be,
The
state.
New York, exactly. Why would state police be in other
International?
countries?
Yeah.
Because they're not even allowed to be in other states. In our constitutional republic, they're not even allowed to be in like a different county.
And it's interesting because New York City also had Chinese centers. I guess, what was it? The Chinese that they shut down? Chinese police? Yeah, the Chinese police. Like, what the fuck? It's like, don't know.
Remember when Guns N' Roses tried to get an album released forever and ever and ever and ever, and it was called Chinese Democracy?
Was it?
No, that's clever.
Yeah, well, that's what we live under. Democracy is
yeah.
a fake term of mob rule, and that's not ever what we were supposed to be. We're supposed to be
We're
under
not a
constitutional
republic.
Republic,
So,
baby.
yeah, even when people say the word democracy, it's like, it's
Why
like
were
that.
we taught democracy as children? Like, that's what I always thought we were. And then I learned later, like, no, we're a republic. Benjamin Franklin said, we gave them a republic if they can keep it. Like, it's never been a democracy.
It's a weird thing because when you're talking about school and public education, it's like the state, but our country was founded on kind of a rebellion against the state in some ways. So like in school, you don't want to tell a bunch of kids like, yeah, each of you represent your own thing and you can each stand up for your individual rights. It's more like, all right, let's vote on what we want to have for lunch today. Let's vote on what movie. Because if you teach kids that early, I guess maybe it's like what a Republican, constituents are. Now all of a sudden you can't get like a cohesive decision anywhere.
Yeah, that's the one thing that they teach you in school to become a teacher is that like the purpose of the free public education in schools was to create informed voters.
Look,
Period.
the government of today has no right telling us how to live our lives because the government of 200 years ago already did.
Tell them, Alex. Tell them.
The government of today has no right telling us how to live our lives because the government of 200 years ago already did.
That would be such a bigger
I'm
flex if you were holding a
fucking
gun while you did that.
Scooby Doo is out.
I'm not going
Don't
to.
even make me.
Don't even think about it.
Don't even make me.
There we go.
Look, what are we talking about here?
Oh my
Don't-
god. I'm mad now.
I'm gonna cut
You're
myself.
mad now.
I'm a
I don't have a
whole ass
knife.
weapon. I'm a whole
I
ass
know.
weapon. I don't need a weapon.
I can't get enough of a
These
good knife.
nuts.
Don't even
When
make
I-
us get juggalo
When I
in
was
here.
when I first tried to get sober, this guy, he like took me out to lunch or dinner, and he had this knife that he was talking to me with, and he just kept pointing at me and talking like all this spiritual stuff like this, and it was so scary. I
And
was so
probably like
scared.
engraved into you with like that intimidation. It's like listen and listen well.
It's like the
Yeah.
earworm.
I was so scared.
When I
Donut,
quit
these
smoking
Rogan
cigarettes
Rogan
one
books.
time, I got a knife. Like my grandfather and all my uncles, like pretty much every capable man I knew always had a knife in his pocket. And so I got a knife when I quit smoking cigarettes, and I would peel an entire apple and try to keep the entire peel in one coil. And then I would peel the apple off and eat it off the blade. And I just felt so rad in college, sitting like we'd be in philosophy conversations and I'd be peeling my apple.
Yeah, I always kept a shank on me when I was in elementary school. And like I remember I showed this kid, I was all like, check this out. And I just knew it. This was my first gut feeling. I knew he snitched on me and I just knew it. So I buried it. And then in elementary school, I must have been in 4th grade or something. But Vegas is a lot different. Like my friend his brother brought in for show and tell, like a shotgun. So it was kind of like a different time.
Yeah. We had a metal detector, so everything was outside of the school. I've seen it all outside of the school, but not inside of
Yeah.
school. No nail files, no any sharp metal objects, no
fancy.
little scissors. It was intense. Across the street from Queens Projects.
Yeah. Well, this was like not like that bad.
Oh no, it was bad.
Did you guys have to sing the Pledge of Allegiance or did you not have to?
Till
Or the
middle school.
national anthem or anything?
Till middle
Yeah,
school.
we sang it.
Yeah. I don't
You
remember.
know,
much
they
in high
used to
school.
do what Chan does, the Heil. They used to do that in America for the pledge.
Yeah, the Roman salute.
Yeah.
They probably wanted us to get rid of that for a reason.
Hmm.
There's probably a lot of power to it. I think everything they call racist, there's
Well,
probably
like-
a lot of power to.
All the hip hoppers do it, like at the concerts. They be throwing up their hands just like that.
Yeah.
And it would almost seem like
Mudras.
a sign, yeah, like an mudra way of if you were across the field from me, it would seem a lot less intimidating if I was holding my open palm at you as opposed to my closed fist. So I think there's a lot to be
It's all
said.
symbolism. Yeah, like
and
the
so
closed fist is communism.
and you actually see, I think it's funny where everyone's like, Howard Stern's changed so much. And I'm like, no, he was always put there to destroy, the same as like a Joe Rogan. And his symbol at the beginning when he first went to Sirius Radio, so when he first left to the Dog Star, is a closed fist.
With $1
And-
billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's probably funding a lot of stuff that going on with George Soros.
God,
Oh.
that guy.
Because they're billionaires. He got $1 billion to go.
Well, I feel like Howard was hand in hand. It was almost Nipplegate at the Super Bowl kind of walked Howard off the air. It was like that was the FCC coming in, and then Howard leaves the air, and then Sirius and XM. But they were two separate radios channels at the time.
My mom was a big Howard Stern fan, so I grew up listening to Howard Stern every
Me
morning on the
too.
ride to school.
I didn't remember much of Howard Stern, but I remember this one episode. It was weird. They brought in this lady. They brought in this lady who can orgasm. I think like 60 times in a minute or something like that. I don't remember the timeage, but like she was there, like presenting herself and like literally having orgasm after orgasm after orgasm on the show. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? That was like my first time ever watching Howard Stern, and never again, I guess. I don't know what happened after that.
Yeah,
Life,
that was a famous one.
Mm-hmm.
They put it in the movie too.
Yeah.
I never missed I feel like I've seen every episode of Howard Stern up until coronavirus.
Yeah, that's what I like about Alex Stein is he's like the new Howard Stern, bringing that crazy comedy that's just like throwing everything out there, like no political correctness at all.
He is a huge Stern fan.
Right.
Like he loves Stern, and so he gets the whole like shtick of what it used to be.
Neverland.
Neverland. But I think all those people are they're all like set up there to lead us. They needed to get us off AM and FM radio. We had too much control. And on the satellites, the same reason. Satellite radio is a gas car compared to an electric car. That's how much power we had on AM, FM radio waves compared to we could pop in on AM, FM. Satellite, we can't do anything with. And they give us the illusion that we compete, but this isn't put into every car. And YouTube doesn't always allow you on. And you can go into some shadow of the internet on Rumble or Rockfin, but in reality, just the same little people, little group of people that are allowed to find you there. They'll always be allowed to find you there. But they're just those people. It's like,
oh yeah, Jerry Springer too. That was crazy.
Yeah. I used to watch that all the time.
That was
I was raised on all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Springer, Ricky Lake, Sally Jesse
Jenny Jones.
Maury,
Jones?
all of them.
Yeah, well, what happened to that one girl, Jenny?
Jenny Jones.
Well, the other Jenny. McCartney.
She married Donnie Wahlberg. Jenny McCarthy became the poster child to say that vaccines gave your kids autism, and then they made her look like a silly schmo, and then nobody was ever allowed to say your vaccines gave you autism again.
Yeah, and Suzanne Summers as
well.
well.
You could say that on this stream. That's wow.
Suzanne Summers as well. She reversed her children's autism and wrote a book, and then they blacklisted her in Hollywood for doing that. She literally reversed their autism and became healthy, normal children.
Who was that?
Suzanne Summers. She exploited the vaccine industry and wrote a book on it and how to reverse the autism effects from vaccines.
Oh man,
this is Suzanne, like step by step. Suzanne Summers.
Yeah.
Three's
Wow,
Company.
that's wild. I never.
Oh yeah.
What
for
about
sure.
Suzanne?
Sarandon.
No, the financial girl.
Are you some lady from MSNBC?
Susan.
We're just gonna leave you out there on the edge of the cliff saying the name over and over again.
She's the finance lady. Susan.
Somebody in the chat will know.
Yeah.
I feel like I know I feel like I see her hair and her jacket.
Not right.
Susie.
You guys know
Susie Q?
Suze.
I need to read her stuff.
Susie Orman. Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, I don't know so much about Susie Orman. What about her?
I don't either. She got the same name, sort of.
So what other Hollywood rituals are we all involved in all the time? We have Super Bowls, and we know all of the sports are fake and they're all dictated, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, a whole team would have to know about it." No, really just one referee.
Well, their music, their whole way of producing music and their masters and what they do with the master. There's a whole ritual that they apparently use the master with, so I don't know. And even the whole like idea of having records and it being a circle and almost like a Solomon's seal, like that whole idea of like, that circle with the information in the middle and all that music and its ridges. It's all spell magic.
And the frequencies too.
Yeah.
This is also yeah, you guys know what sweeps weeks are?
That's
Yes.
sweeps.
It's like sweeps weeks. It was like I think in like the 50s or 60s, Nielsen used to be the ones that would like call people up at home and do like straight up polling to figure out who liked which channels. And now you get little set-top boxes, but they would call it sweep because they would sweep across and take all these different ratings. So sweeps week meant like, oh crap, Nielsen's going to start taking their ratings. Let's pump all the commercials we can. Let's get everyone watching our channels. Let's do all like the spiciest, most controversial, must watch TV blocks of animation, like all of that stuff. And they would do that with these sweeps weeks, and it aligns always with the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Sweeps.
Well, you know what else is a ritual? The whole betting and the boxes. The whole NFL championship boxes that you bet on, right? Isn't it by boxes? Right?
Well, there is that. That's just one of the kinds that you can do.
Oh, just one of the kinds. See, I don't know. But I know like people say, yeah, is anyone selling a box? And I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? And then I learned it's just like, a box.
It's an
to bet.
easy way
It's
for
a
people.
religion. This is the America's religion of war on Sunday. The day you're supposed to go worship. They go worship on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday.
Do you think that there's anything to do with throwing long pork? I mean, a pigskin?
Yeah. Paranoid knows all about that, right?
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, the pigskin wasn't always the original material that they would use for this. They used all sorts of different animal innards, and I think that goes back to even more ancient. Like we were talking about Bacchanalia and Saturnalia and all these. Part of those would be to take out the entrails of animals and kind of throw it around and get into a frenzy. And if you look at like the Aztec version of this, right, where they would have these same sort of sports rituals. And I think all these harken back to just we were talking about like actual war, like real warfare. And that's why this is my favorite link here. And it's going to sound like a stretch, but I swear it's the most interesting to me. But look at how much effort they put into maintaining the green, right? Like this pristine patch of grass for when they play the football on. Like they spend more money on the keeping the football grass green than they could send people like an entire village basically. And the reason they do that is because back in the day when you would have these big Colosseum fights and these big battles, it would happen over a field and the blood would spill into the field and the iron would make everything that grew out of that field nice and rich. That's why a lot of these agricultural and war gods are kind of mixed together. So if you look at it, like if you won the battle, then you actually got to take ownership of the battlefield, and that battlefield would be the most fertile place that you could grow and feed your entire village. So there was an actual reason why you would fight over a particular plot of land and love it and be fertile. And it's so weird that our only modern day counterpart of these big like outdoor battles is these like huge Super Bowls, and we spend all this. And like obviously the explanation is they want to make it standard and make sure that everyone knows how the footing. But man, if you look at like the actual energy and the focus being put into it, it feels like just a fancier version of the exact same rituals.
I think it's so interesting you say this because I remember reading somewhere specifically about Allegiant Stadium that they had built this state of the art contraption that rolls in the turf for the team to play on specifically. Like any other event that happens there, instead of AstroTurf, like the AstroTurf everyone else hangs on out on, but they get real grass rolled in. And it blew my mind. Like it's the opposite of the normal thing. Like everybody else gets the AstroTurf, but the team will get real grass.
Interesting.
So it's interesting hearing this, like the blood on the field. It's real grass now for this event.
Do you think that the plays that they play during the game and the numbers and the way that they throw or the direction that they throw the ball with the timing of it all, do you think that's a ritual of its own with the grid on the lines and the numbers? I feel like that's some sort of magic that they're playing, almost like chess but in a different way.
For sure it is. Like the last 2 years ago, they had the 3-2-2 in the score. And I feel like this year you're gonna have that 1-2-8 up in there, but I don't know.
They're playing at All Giants Field.
What's that? I know it's called the Death Star.
That's pretty wild.
It's called the Death Star too.
Holy shit.
The Death Star, another name for the game. Nephilim. Well, look at what the NFL. That's what somebody else put. That
NFL. Oh my goodness.
Nephilim.
Put it up the screen.
It's really
scream.
NFL.
Oh, that. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
That's our thing. That's the SSGG right there. Nephilim. So instead of saying "what up, guys," when you see each other, just say Nephilim.
So that's like a meme. I was thinking about that because that was a big Super Bowl advertisement. What's up with Budweiser? And that was like the first memes of not the first, but it was a meme.
Major.
Right? But it was like a television meme, but they have t-shirts.
You know what's interesting? Budweiser also had the commercials with the frogs in them all the time.
Weren't they all frogs? So then if the frogs were going to be back and the world was going to be
there you go. Right.
It's like,
oh my goodness, I got to write that down. Fantastic find right there. Oh my goodness.
That is kind of wild.
They're the original Pepe.
Yeah, the Budweiser.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Oh my goodness, that's wild.
And if everything is about the red dragon and you really wanted to give power to that red dragon, you would definitely want to put a red hat on that. And you sure can't now. You sure can't put a red hat on that red dragon because it just gives power to one other thing and you're not allowed
to wear that red hat.
Yeah, you can't wear that red hat. So no matter what you want, that whole stadium that's supposed to be wearing red hats with SF and red hats with KC and red hats, that's all supposed to represent communism in China and a big red dragon. And guess what? It's gonna represent MAGA.
Which?
Wow, that seems like time travel to me. That's some transmutation.
I'm going to keep saying it. MAGA witch. Okay? You are MAGA, you're a witch.
It sounds like Make-A-Wish.
That's
both. It's the same. Imagination.
Witch nation. And the witch hunt is him talking about maybe they're hunting us, bro. Is that what it means, Janie? Witch hunt?
Or is it the hunt for the witches? Mirror, and so I think it's supposed to be words they can't use. So if I was Hillary or AOC or Nancy Pelosi or Ghislaine Maxwell or one of these women and they were coming after me or Lizzo, I'd be like, "This is a witch hunt. This is a witch hunt." That's what I'd say. But I can't say that now because this D-bag's using this word all the time.
Yeah.
So it just seems like a transmutation.
Probably, yeah. It's like we're making it our own. But
I
anyway,
just think it's
everything is
Tesla shit.
witchy.
I just think it's Tesla. I just think it's like future proving past shit. Like if the world was really going to be watching, what event does the world watch?
Who was the first depiction of a witch? Was it the Wizard of Oz?
No.
No. What was
Well,
the
the
first,
depiction of in what context?
like movie wise, like figure like wise? Like was that character the
Well, I think
main?
it was in a lot of books, right? You
Yeah,
know,
like
Snow White would have been the first animated one,
mm-hmm.
and not the Disney Snow White, but the Fleischer Snow White with Betty Boop.
I just wonder that because there's stories
Betty
about
Boop,
I still
Yeah,
got
Betty
it,
Boop
Eddie.
was the
Boop
first
boop
Snow
be
White.
doop.
Boop Boopy Doop. It was a witch.
No,
No,
she was
she
the
wasn't
first
the
Snow
witch.
White.
She was Snow White, and she ended up eating the like. It's not the full movie. It's like a short little 5-minute clip. But
I
yeah,
thought Betty
Betty
Boop
Boop.
was originally black, and they stole that idea from this black singer back in the day, and
Well,
they
the
turned it.
cartoon, I don't. Well, the cartoon sketches might have been black, but I don't think the ones that Max Fleischer put on the screen ended up being black.
Huh.
It took too much ink.
Interesting.
Betty Boop was the best.
Boop boop be doop.
Boop boopy doop.
When
Betty
I
Boop
grew
was
up,
alright.
I grew up in
Yeah.
Vegas, so I'd go to the MGM. They had a theme park that you go to with rides,
Ooh.
and Betty Boop was always walking
There you go.
around. It was cool.
Yeah, she was hot with her
Betty-
little garter. I love that little garter.
Her head was a bit much for me. It was too big.
I find it weird
Yeah.
how humans can sexualize cartoons.
Well, I think that's originally how porn was created. I think cartoons were only created for porn. I don't think they were created for kids originally. I think they were only
sure.
created so that people could do naughty drawings in places that porn wasn't allowed. And so then you had Nickelodeons that you would put your nickels in and be able to flip through cartoon drawings of machines of sexual positions and whatever. And I think it's interesting that it's become cartoons and now we call a show Nickelodeon that was headed up by pedophiles. And yeah.
Well, like when I was growing up, like I was living in this house, but they were developing the neighborhood, so they were building houses, and you go into one of these porta potties back in like 2000, and it was just drawings of porn all over the porta potties. So like they weren't drawing fun cartoons or anything. It was a bunch of perverted cartoons.
You know this Barbie being a gag gift of a prostitute in Germany, and I think there's this spell that they're trying to do with Barbie, and I have to big up Barbie a little bit because Barbie was the only mainstream movie that I've seen in the last 5 years that I didn't mess around with theys or thems or Zism. It was blue for boys and pink for girls, and that was the world. And I just had to big up that it was like simple like that. And so there is something that no matter how much there's certain things like a drug that you can't take Barbie and like pollute it. And maybe it's not because of Mattel and everything evil about them. Maybe it's the prostitute in Germany that originally created the doll. You couldn't take the female out of her doll, no matter how much you tried. Like Mattel, yep, you might have been able to G.I. Joe that Barbie over the decades, but that whore's doll, nope, she put her magic in that voodoo doll. It was her sigil, and you couldn't take it. And so I love that even Mattel did whatever with it, but they couldn't turn it into a like they tried to do Skipper. They tried to do no matter what, they didn't even design stuff around that doll to make the doll actually fit in cars or a house. She was always in a film. Barbie was always in a film. They were showing us. They were like, look at this bitch in her camper. She's like, her waist is sitting out of her camper. She's making like eggs all the way down here. All the way down here. You open her fridge, it's just like everything just makes her look better. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Barbie's just like the original Nephilah.
Nephilah.
Big up the horror and her Barbie spell for keeping shit feminine out there.
For reals. For reals.
It was the last thing, even if you cut off all Barbie's hair, And you just make her crazy Barbie. She doesn't become Ken.
I used to eat my Barbie's feet, like chew on them, like all of them when I was a kid. I would just chew their feet for some reason. It was just like a sensory thing, probably. It was just rubbery and
I figured this out. The way that your canines feel when they go through the tip of Barbie's feet, raw
just
mushrooms. Raw mushrooms. It's like there's
I
this
made my
pop,
Barbies have
like
sex.
Me too.
I didn't know what sex was, but I know they laid down naked together.
Yes. And I would make them kiss and have babies.
The one shitty part about it though is every
Save
time
her.
you guys have sex now, you're all like this.
If I would have known about scissoring, then maybe I wouldn't be having lesbian scissoring stuff happening. But
That's
it
probably
never
why
occurred to me.
everybody
I
thinks
didn't learn about that
scissoring's
till Katie
like
told me.
that is because of Barbies. Everybody
Oh,
thinks
this looks like it'll be fun. Let's try it out.
Bam,
Yeah.
bam, 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 bam.
Poor
Well,
Ken.
yeah, Barbie, you know,
Maybe I did do that. I just
Barbie-
didn't think of it as sexual.
I
Barbie got-
even knew how to eat my Barbies out. Like,
She's just doing 69.
hell yeah.
Wait. Rewind. Abby made her Barbies have sex.
Yeah.
Layla, you ate your Barbies out.
Well, no, like not literally, but like you know, like my Barbie would get eaten out. Like I would make the other Barbie eat my Barbie out. Like Ken would eat my Barbie out.
Dude,
You
my
know?
Barbie didn't even have a vagina, so I had no clue what I was doing. I just,
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting
Dang,
because
man, me and my guy friends with our GI Joes, we were like saving the world.
Hey, I had G.I. Joe. I had like the
Were you making him have
1960s
sex?
G.I. Joe.
Were
Oh
you
yeah,
like
because he was way hotter than Ken. He was
My
way
Barbie was
hotter than
getting
Ken.
Oh, the
saved
1960s
by Ken.
G.I. Joe. I was like,
he was
that
like
little
he was
G.I.
10
Joe.
10 size, and he was like way hotter than Ken. I had
Ken
the
was my
best Ken 'cause he was
superhero.
G.I. Joe.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I thought Derek from Barbie and the Rockers was way hotter than anything Ken could ever pull
Wait,
off.
who?
Derek from Barbie and the Rockers.
The one with the mullet.
No, he didn't have real hair. He had plastic hair still, but it was just done in a Jordan Knight hairstyle.
Oh yeah,
was
Jordan
done
Knight
in
was.
Was
fly
this
as
before or
the-
after Gem?
It was in the time Jim was taking over the stream and Barbie was like, she couldn't be outdone. It was like Christina and Britney. It was like once Jim came along, Barbie was like, I need to start a band. And so then there was Barbie and the Rockers, and she even dropped all her old friends because they were not cool enough to hang. Like Ken was not going to pull it off. He looked like a beach boy. So she had to get Derek to play the guitar in her band to compete with Barbie and the Rockers.
I
Or
like that
with
you got
Like
the
a
lore
slick
here.
back kind of hair, like kind of up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Darkish hair, not blonde.
Yep. Dark.
Yeah, okay, I remember
He
him.
was
yeah.
cute. See,
Yeah,
he looked more
was cute.
Italian.
Yeah, he was cute.
He didn't look all
Thicker
blonde. He
brows,
wasn't. Yeah,
too.
totally. He had nice
Mhm.
eyebrows.
Yeah.
You know exactly him. He was like,
Yes. I didn't chew his feet.
no,
No.
Ken. You didn't want to chew Ken feet. They were a little nicer than those dainty, always peaked up Barbie
Flimsy,
feet.
yeah.
Always. Anyways, Hollywood.
Dude, a foot lover made Barbie feet. The way
I
that
have to make a correction too. When you cut your Barbie's hair, it's weird Barbie. That's who she becomes.
really, I used to cut my Barbies.
My weird Barbie had like, yeah. Well, that's what they call it in the movie. They call her weird Barbie, and I swear everybody has one. Like mine did have her hair cut off, and I rubbed the back of her hair so much that she got a bald spot, and she had green glitter on her feet. But I always made her a witch.
Yeah.
She was like the witch.
I made a Cynthia version once too, like half bald, half like intact. I
Did you pick
balded
up
one of
on
them.
on the MK Ultra programming in the end of the Barbie movie?
I didn't
with-
watch it.
Did everyone see the Barbie movie?
No,
Yes.
I didn't watch it.
So at the well, spoiler alert. But
I
at
don't
the
care.
end,
Voila.
Ken, I think they're trying to break Ken because Ken gets like too confident, right? Which is kind of a weird thing. Like the whole Barbie movie is about don't let the man get too confident. So once Ken gets too confident, all the women are like, we have to break his spirit. And the way that they figure to do that is essentially how they describe Springmeyer describes the Illuminati mind control formula, and it's basically that you like love bomb somebody just constantly, and then at like some moment of vulnerability after you've been love bombing them and they feel like they can open up and be vulnerable, then you just immediately like do the exact opposite. You be overly
That's
critical.
fucked
So
up.
in the movie, the way that they show this is that they have like they let Ken like romance them, and like Ken bring him out onto like the beach, and he's like brings out his guitar and he's like trying to sing his heart out. And then at that exact moment when he's like looking for that connection, they're supposed to like completely ignore him and go and give their affection to someone else. But they do that to all the Kens at the same time, and it like collectively breaks their spirits so that they can then reprogram Ken and like fix him again. But I mean, this is like that process of love bombing and then immediately giving the cold shoulder.
That's fucked up.
That's straight up like German learned MK Ultra
But
programming.
they do that for a reason. Like they come in and their whole entire life is taken over, and so it's like a whole different world than was the Barbie world to begin with.
Right, because Ken gets into the real world and he sees that men run like the real world or like whatever reality that we're in. So when he gets back into Barbie world, he's like, oh, I can just run this. I can make this my reality. And then he turns it into like Ken world more than Barbie world.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, no. Fuck that.
See?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So-
Sorry, Ken.
And also all of the Ken like
deserve all the MK
tropes
Ultra.
of getting a girl is like, I'll play my guitar for her by a fire, and I'll do something strong because she likes to watch me work out, and I'll have a nice car. So all the Kens do the exact same thing at the exact same time. So when it pans back from the beach, they're already a version of MK Ultra. They're all playing the guitar, and all the Barbies are all like, look it, they all are doing the exact same thing to us to try to romance us. That's why they break their spirit.
Uh-huh. Okay. I gotta watch this movie apparently.
Yeah, you do.
It's good. You'd like it.
Yeah.
We might have to do a whole Barbie movie breakdown.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
But I
On
gotta
our
watch it
Patreon.
first.
Yeah, we'll have to put it behind a wall so we can actually fucking watch it with you guys and not go through still shots.
Mm.
That's what I've realized. That's the only way you can really listen to the whole songs and watch the whole movie, even if it's like 99 cents. We'll be
Me
like,
and Donut were
okay,
doing
we're gonna
that
go watch the
recently.
movie.
Me and Donut did a live movie watch not too long ago.
Mhm.
Yes, yes. The whole Barbie thing is interesting because how Karen Horney, the therapist, child therapist, how she got the kids to talk to go to the therapy, because a lot of parents bring their kids to therapy, but it's the parents that need the therapy, because there's all this narcissism with the parents that want to make the child excellent or whatever. And the way that she got them to talk to see what was going on was to play with toys. So when they're playing with toys, they were communicating. So like the kids would like try to like kill one of the toys, but it was like playing a figure in their life. So this is how she was able to like learn. So I think that's interesting as we're all talking about these toys and what we would do with the toys. And let me tell you, I had a my size Barbie, and that thing got around the whole neighborhood. All the homies had a piece of my size Barbie.
Oh, I
Yeah,
had
at
a
what
size.
point is it just a sex doll?
Yeah.
Oh.
But then I was thinking, like, I'm like, oh man, so it's fun listening to everybody talk about, especially like Ken and G.I. Joe, because I have a little sister. So I had all my G.I. Joes and she had all her Barbies. So we'd play with all of them. So it's just interesting hearing other people's experience. In this movie, Barbie's dope because if you grew up playing with toys like Barbies and G.I. Joes and all that, they did an excellent, it was like a grown-up movie. It wasn't a kid's film. That movie was like made for millennials pretty much. And it had this patriarch woman, total propaganda within the film. And you could just totally see it clear as day, but it was still a good movie, even with the certain archetypes of programming. It was still pretty good.
I
But
heard there was a lot of programming in that, like men, women, and men were like, "Don't send your girl to watch that, or your life is over." I'm like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" Like, I still haven't watched it, but I can see that. But I mean, like, Ken, seriously, nah, stay out, stay out of it, Ken. Can't take over their world. That's Barbie's
when
world.
I was playing with the toys, I was doing some like real like effed up s to the whole community of toys. Like they were.
Were you like beheading your figures and
No, it
shit?
was worse than that. It was
Yeah.
a total like it was. I took them all out. They were all like.
Some people would like switch up like the heads of the bodies and like take a GI Joe character or an action figure and put a Barbie's head on it and like switch it up.
Well, I get like a bingo marker that was red, and then I would like just like drench them in blood.
Yeah, yeah.
Sick.
I mean, we get creative. Kids are fucking creative when it comes to that. That's why you got to let kids.
But I
be
also
kids.
had all the army men though too. So like a big thing was battle for kids, and it's kind of interesting because I'm a young kid, and like I had these violent thoughts that I would act out this rage, and then the girls, I'm not sure, I'm not, but all throughout history, the dolls were created to imitate a family. And then somewhere the programming got into the dolls where they turn them into brat dolls, which is like the opposite of building a family. And this is well documented of cultures, Japanese cultures. It was all based around this family unit. And then eventually that started. I used to work at Toys R Us, so I've seen them toys, but I also grew up going to this place called McFrugal's. This was in Vegas. It's like,
I remember it.
you remember McFrugal's? Okay, so
They had them in Reno too. Yeah, because I'm from Reno.
Yeah,
so-
it was like a Nevada thing, and they had a
Yeah.
Toxic Avenger toy, and I had the Toxic Avenger Crusader, and that just totally changed my entire life. That playing with that toy, because then I figured out the guy makes movies, and then you see the movies and they're insane. Yeah.
What about He-Man and the Masters of the Universe? Because see, I was all about my Cabbage Patch dolls and Barbies, but then I'd go play with the boys across the street and we'd play He-Man.
I was
Freaking
always scared of
loved it.
Cabbage Patch dolls. Ugh.
Yes, I had them.
Loved mine.
Mm-hmm.
They're
They had a
scary.
smell about them.
They were always so
They
dirty.
smelled so good.
They did. All
Yeah.
Cabbage Patch dolls were set up for us to get comfortable with a Walmart foot.
Mm.
They were all like a dirty footed doll. I'm like, oh, get your old dirty. And
They always
I
had
didn't.
stains on them.
Yeah, why did they always? This is the other thing I couldn't stand about most things from that era. They would have a very hard head and a soft body, like that glowworm. I don't know what kind of Herculean child could actually squeeze that glowworm on, but it surely wasn't cuddly.
No,
Like-
but they were cute. I love glowworms.
I like Night Bright.
Night Bright. Why does that sound
Yeah.
familiar?
That's the
That's where you
pegging
put the
game.
pegs in.
Oh yeah. I like the what's it called? The line drawer thing with the it's
Etch-a-sketch.
red.
Etch-a-sketch.
Yeah, Etch-a-Sketch.
There
There
you
you
Oh,
go.
that's a sketch. Yeah.
I
I
love
also like
Etch-a-Sketch.
Toy Story.
Well,
Mr.
we
Potato Head.
were
I
we
was
were
a
already
Lego
talking about
kid.
Toy
I
Story
was
a
all
little bit
Legos
here.
all day.
Yeah, I
Toy
Lisa
Story.
was talking about like combining the different heads and like bodies of like the Barbies and the GI Joes and stuff.
Mhm.
And there's like this interesting thread that in the Toy Story series, Sid is the neighbor next door, and they paint him like he's this psychopath, right? And I don't know if you've seen the Brave Little Toaster, but the
Oh
Brave
yeah,
Little
Brave Little
Toaster.
Toaster go hard.
Well,
for
that's
sure.
the original Toy Story that came out before Toy Story. It's basically the exact same thing. And in the Little Toaster, this is like some deep psyop stuff in my mind. So with the Little Toaster,
Hello,
that there's
Toaster
like
was
this
brave.
horror scene, and it's actually like a harken back to like a Vincent Price style horror shop. But all it is a secondhand store where a guy takes like old junk and he puts it together so that it's useful again, right? But they make it seem like that's the bad guy of that whole movie. So now in Toy Story, you got Sid, and Sid is this scavenger that can basically take toys that no one's playing with, little like odds and ends, put them together and give them new life. And he's painted as this enemy. And the only thing that you can do to not be this disgusting Sid horrible person or this secondhand person is to buy fully licensed products, brand new, retail packaged, right out of the store. And then if you are like a secondhand salesman, or if you try to repair your own stuff, you're actually hurting and torturing your appliances, and you're hurting and torturing these toys. And the right thing to do is to go and buy another brand new one, and it has to be a licensed one. Because if it's not licensed, then you're like a Sid psychomaniac.
Yeah, Sid was the tightest one. Everyone liked him.
And they're almost setting us up for the, what is it, anthropomorphizing our AI, our electronics. Because if they get us to care about our toaster and slowly care about our stuffed animals, and where you're like, let me treat my stuffed animals good so they don't kill me in my sleep. Let me do this little ritual where I take each one off my bed and set it in a certain spot, or I still have this bear from a certain time of age. Those are all kind of relics or voodoo dolls in a way.
Yes, they are. But they are.
Yeah, you're putting energy into these things to either protect you, or it provides. This is a weird thing too about toys. They say that teddy bear face is a big face of why like a Britney Spears or a Marilyn Monroe would be so famous, is because when they stare at the camera, not smiling, you put your emotion on them, just like a child would a teddy bear. And so there's this certain celebrity that they have that face in Hollywood. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just toys in general. Like I was playing with the wrestling toys, and now The Rock will become the president. So it's like I'm playing with a toy that eventually will become the president. That's crazy.
It's all trippy, huh?
Yeah,
With The Rock
it is.
coming back.
Well, they kind of booed him off stage recently.
You guys don't have Donald Trump toys?
Because they
I have
needed him
Donald
on there.
Trump coins.
I think that's just
He
us
shouldn't have been the
Floridians.
president.
We grew up with Donald Trump toys.
I have Donald Trump coins, not toys.
I'm just kidding. I don't have a Donald Trump doll yet, but hopefully I'll be able to get one soon at paranoidamerican.com.
I think it
Didn't
might
they
actually
make,
have
like
some.
there was like a teddy bear Trump that like people were
There
raving
was, yeah, it was like there was
There's
an
a bobblehead.
infomercial about it.
It was like, here's a bear, it's Trump bear. It's kind of like now
The best
looking back
bear.
at it.
This is the
it's kinda-
greatest bear.
Yeah, now it's kind of weird looking back at that, you know, because you had all these like people that are like, protect the Second Amendment, protect America. Here's my teddy bear. And it's kind of like, what?
I would like a Trump bobblehead, you know?
In the front of your car
Yeah, and just let it bobble its head. So
with
cute.
a Jamaican crown on it.
Holding
I
a
don't-
spliff.
Yeah. It's perfect.
I wonder if Donald Trump smokes weed.
That might be a new good t-shirt. Which
I don't
there
think he does because his brother was an addict, so he always
Yeah.
that's in his blood. That
So
he
he's
stayed away from that. Yeah, he doesn't.
There's so many
drink.
theories that he's always coked up. I always find those ones interesting because it
Yeah.
goes in direct opposition to what he professes, is that he's like the ultimate straight edge.
No drinking, none of that stuff. But meanwhile, he likes to grab women by the pussy.
Yeah, that's his drug of choice.
well,
for
thank
sure.
goodness.
Right? At least he says it, and people get so offended by it. You know, there's women out there who will just like literally, hey, and like let him grab the pussy.
What are you
That's what he
supposed to grab
says.
them by?
Huh?
What are you supposed to grab women by?
The boobs, the pussy,
They stick out a little
the
bit further.
ass. I don't know, the face sometimes.
Is there
you know?
anything? Yeah, is
Come
there
on, man.
anything like if someone was to be like, yeah, I always grab women by the blank. Like, what can you put in that blank that wouldn't be like, you disgusting monster?
Grab him by the hand?
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
That was easy. That
Yeah.
seemed easy.
My
Fair
mind
enough.
doesn't go to that one as the first one.
What hand holding is awesome.
Speaking of real quick, you can go to projectchaney.com if you want new Secret Society of Good Guy merch, and you can get Britney as my spirit animal.
I love that.
Shout
I
out
love
to
that.
Owen Hunt because he kind of helped me come up with that one.
Yeah, so you can go there and get Britney Spears as my spirit animal. I have to get it right now, and I'm like, does that say Project Cheney on the side? It's supposed to say Secret Society of Good Guys. That's not allowed. Maybe there's one of each, but it's supposed to just be Secret Society of Good Guys. Anyways, so don't
It
order
should
it
totally
yet.
be
Give
one
me a
of each.
day. Give me a day.
That's
and then order
gangsta.
it. Anyways, turn that
Keeping
off.
it gangsta.
Yeah.
I need that on a mug. I need all your mugs on mugs.
For real.
I know. We have to do it. We have to make cartoon versions. Stop sharing this.
Wasn't there a new question that we have to add? That we added to the questions of questions?
Yeah, we'll ask
Well-
Donut when he comes back.
What was it? Oh yeah, well surprise me again because I forgot.
I didn't.
Neither have I, actually.
Now
I
you're
know the
putting
question.
all the pressure.
I forgot. I forgot it.
If other things, if you're looking for your St. Patrick's Day, or you get your friends something that are coming up for your Pisces friends, it's a good time to get your party pack, your Hunter Biden party pack. My camera is backward, but you can
Yes.
also get that at paranoidamerican.com.
Also, you can also have your paranoid American's face on your microphone like I do.
That's right.
Never. Really, I think the biggest discovery, and I put it up on screen, so it'll be a shout out, but I think it's brilliant, the NFL.
Huh? Wait, what?
Like NFL.
Oh yeah, Nephilah.
Nephilah.
Nephilah. Nephilah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we
They
would
got-
spell it in our language.
Yeah.
Nephilah.
Yeah. So that's it's like the NFL is just giants playing against each other.
I think I'm gonna get a Charlie horse right now.
Oh my gosh, that happened in my sleep after the last episode that we did.
I feel it. I'm not moving my leg.
Like when we hung out, it was like right afterward. I only slept for an hour and a half before I had to work, and I got a Charlie horse in my leg in my sleep. And I'm like I ran. I just hung out with you guys.
I wonder if I have bananas.
Or just salt. That's what Abby would say.
Oh, you're having a cramp?
immediately.
Yeah.
It's
salt.
almost there.
She's like, go get some salt.
Put some salt in water and drink it really fast.
Should I just put salt underneath my tongue or on my tongue?
Yeah, you
Okay,
can put
cool.
yeah.
Oh no.
I'll be right back.
We do salt packets.
Be right back.
Oh, it made me immediately thirsty. Oh my goodness. Speaking of Patreon, Donut and I hung out on Patreon and watched the entire Grammy Awards, and it was way longer than either of us thought it was going to be.
And you held it down. You held it down. And without you, I would have I couldn't. Thank you.
It was fun though, and I haven't watched a Grammy Awards in that long, and I haven't watched commercials in such a long time.
My brain was like, oh.
It was like because of knowing what we know about even something as simple as the JFK assassination, something as simple and as quaint as the JFK assassination. If everything they aired about that on TV was the television show, what they were talking about, and then the newscaster comes in and tells you about the JFK assassination, then Folgers or some coffee commercial is swinging a spoon back and forth like this for a really long time that eventually goes in line with a clock saying like something about your morning, and then it's like an ad for Highway 66 and then something else, and then you're back on air. And it's like, here's how. So it's knowing that and watching these shows like the Grammys or like the Super Bowl, and how we all worship the commercials now. They all matter. They're all, we think everything's a separate entity, but the entire thing is
The whole
selling us,
production.
the whole production selling us something. And in my opinion, when Kaepernick took the knee to reset and like 6 feet apart, no justice, no peace, and we're gonna wear a mask and we're gonna do this whole ritual for the next few years. I think a lot of country folk, a lot of patriots stopped watching football. Like I think they really when all the teams were like they're allowed to kneel for the
Now they're
flag.
loving it again.
I'm not doing it. But it took Tay Swift and these kind of things to bring attention of that same demographic back to football. So a way you get that same demographic, you got to give them what they want at the beginning. If you want them to tune in, you give them a little Reba. You give them a little Reba McEntire because that's that same demographic. And all those white ladies that aren't watching football at all and have tuned out altogether. Usher, they might watch Usher because she's the same Obama. Like black people don't give two shits about Usher. That's white people shit. And so it's when you look at the entire Super Bowl, to me, it's one big commercial. So is it going to be a Pfizer ad? Is it going to be selling us goggles to get ready for player one? Is it going to be selling us the everything app from X? What will be the next thing that it's pushing in the underground of the whole thing? You know, behind the
You're right. You said it. It's those Google glasses. It's the metaverse because eventually you're going to have courtside tickets to these events in the metaverse, wearing the goggles. So that's being released right before the Super Bowl because that's what it's for. Is for that. Because now you get to do what?
It's Neuralink and get rid of the goggles.
Yeah, for sure.
I got a solution for the Super Bowl, but it would never be implemented because it would destroy everything it's about. But what if every team represented an ideology, and like whenever that team won, then that ideology gets to become mainstream until the next Super Bowl throughout culture, right? So if you got like a team full of Kaepernicks, then everyone's got to kneel for the next year until the next Super Bowl. And then if someone else wins, then you got to kind of like follow those rules. I feel like people would be so much more invested in the sports because they'd actually stand for something other than just like the city that you're in.
Don't you? It's weird because we're talking about Kaepernick and he was a 49er. So it's like that. It's like we're still in that part of the ritual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even know who that is. He's the guy who like
I can pull up a picture of Colin Kaepernick if you want.
He was the guy that
he went to University.
He's the guy with the afro that got on the knee.
Yeah, who didn't do the national anthem. And then you got all like the old white men like, yes, we're not going to do it either. Like on the field. I don't know. I don't watch football.
Well, it became like a whole big deal, and it wasn't about George Floyd, but I think George Floyd became the like coup de grace at the end of the whole thing. And you know, because the NFL or the NBA was doing NBA was doing stuff for Trayvon Martin and wearing black hoodies. And it was becoming this whole police.
Yeah, it was just so weird. Like it was such a there's such a racial undertone. Like all the people, I'm not gonna watch it anymore, right? There was a racial undertone with that. Like, really, you're not gonna watch it anymore because of that? When there's so many other like reasons not to watch it. But now everybody's watching it again. It's just ridiculous. Everybody, I think, is ridiculous.
Space Ghost, big up yourself. Thank you. And I think there was a sports ritual on 9/11 for the 2023 season. Aaron Rodgers got injured playing at the Jets at 9/11. He gets injured, sits down at exactly 11:19 on the reverse 9/11, which is also interesting because Aaron Rodgers becomes this huge anti big Pfizer, but it always keeps Pfizer in the news when we're talking about it. So he's not. It's like that's the thing
Any
that
way you push it, it still is keeping it.
Yeah,
relevant.
And so he also he goes on one show to get ignited in the news, and then he gets a bunch of playtime to sit down on like Joe Rogan and say, well, I didn't mean it that harshly. Kind of like it still keeps it out there. So I just don't think I think it's like big narrative push, and it all does lead to secession a little bit to me. Like it's still the secession narrative. Even the Kansas City and San Francisco of it all seem very liberal and very conservative.
Yeah, because Kansas City, that's like where people wave to each other, I heard. And then San Francisco, where people be like pooping on the ground and stuff. Like,
Bums don't exist there.
I don't know anything about it. I know they got that fake dinosaur out there in San Francisco. They got a dinosaur. Like
They're all fake, aren't they?
zoo.
No, they're all replicas.
We
Mhm.
have Oakland.
They are.
So Oakland is where the Raiders
Oakland,
used to be.
right?
Yeah,
Damn,
right
damn,
outside.
Katie. Crushing it.
Like Oakland right outside where the Raiders used to be. Then they go to Los Angeles before they go back to Oakland and then to Vegas.
There's gonna be a fire ritual. That's what's gonna happen.
And I still think this is the most obvious best thing about Allegiant Stadium in general, and just the Raiders in general, is you got to talk about the Raiders logo. It is so skull and bones. It's so one eye symbolism. It's like everything so in your face. The Raiders logo. And who is that? Who's that random guy in the Raiders logo?
And why's he got cleft lip?
Why is he Nephila?
Ah,
Is that a Nephila thing?
Nephila.
Layla, I hope you're getting salt right now.
Yeah, what's happening with Layla?
She got a Charlie horse.
What's that?
That's
like
the
massive cramp.
Yeah, her
and-
legs are about to turn into mermaid tail
Oh, that sucks.
because it's the new moon.
I know I get foot cramps, but that's not the same thing.
It kind of is. It's when it just balls up and you can feel it and it hurts like so bad. It just comes out of nowhere.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
Happened to me a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, it did happen to you on air too.
Yeah, I thought I'm sitting there like my face goes because it was hurting so bad, and so I shut my camera off, and then I tried to mute my mic, and I was like, "God damn motherfucker!" And then everybody's like, "Are you all right over there?"
Whoa, what happened?
It was bad.
Cramps. Late night cramps. Yeah, you gotta have something salty too. You
Cramps
can't
and earthquakes when we're all around each other. What the fuck?
I know who knows what we do tonight. Kill Jack Nicholson. Boom, boom, boom.
Or
Sorry.
Goldie Hawn.
That's the one I always throw out. The Church of the Goldie Hawn or Jack Nicholson. Which is not to be confused with Church of the Golden Dawn.
Don't mind me if I come in and out. But wow. Oh
Does
my
this
God.
happen a lot? Is this like having to
Trying to make me go to rehab. I
Sometimes,
say no.
I guess because I haven't been to work. Let me not move. Don't move. Keep it there.
Do you
Don't
have
move.
water too? Because if you
Yeah,
had
I'm
salt, that's
drinking
good. But you need
water.
water.
I put
Okay.
lots of salt in my mouth, chugged it. But I guess because I haven't been working for like the past 3 weeks because we were closed, and I was off yesterday and back to work, and we were kind of busy, and I guess I'm cramping because of that.
Oh no.
Oh, that was tough. But I'm not gonna move. We're good.
Yeah, you know, when I be podcasting, sometimes like there's
Someone
always
gave me the eye.
Is that what they did?
I don't know. Someone gave me the eye, the evil eye.
Maybe.
No, I'm kidding. But maybe somebody did. I don't know. I
remember I was doing this one podcast for another company, and it was like during the election.
This will cleanse the air.
Oh yeah.
Get it, get it, get
That's
it.
our
get it.
stage.
Abby's
Oh.
ass would clear the air more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
gosh,
guys are
where
funny.
We
is
all
it?
we all agree with that.
I know, and
We're
it's not.
Guns N' Roses tonight, though.
Oh, phew! I was like, oh my gosh, where is it? I was about to have a panic attack, and then I was like, okay.
Moment of silence.
I stole that. I stole that from Layla.
I feel like the Little Mermaid sometimes because I gave my voice away for all this.
You gave it to Ursula, the sea witch.
I traded it to that bitch, man.
You gave it to De Beers, the
I
bear.
did, so I could have buns of steel.
What's certain arrest? Slap nuts. That's a good name. Damn it! Why didn't I think of that?
What are your crimes, Donut?
Slap nuts are the
What are
ones.
your
I've never
crimes?
been arrested, so
If you
I got
ever
no
hang out with my
crimes.
guy friends and ever slap their nuts, I do not take kindly to that.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I do not let happen around my guy friends.
Have you
It's
seen
like
that Key and Peele slap ass?
Donut, what is your favorite type of donut?
Oh, I mean, I usually go with the apple donut.
Like
That's not
apple
a donut,
fritter?
it's a fritter.
Yeah, an apple fritter.
Apple fritters are pretty badass, but
I just didn't. Yeah, I go with that. And,
Yo, what up? It's Fritter.
I also like.
with all your Illuminati news.
If I'm not gonna have an apple because I'm healthy, so I eat healthy donuts. I'll get a lemon.
That's
a
your
lemon
justification?
Yeah,
What's
lemon donut would be fine.
Yeah, you got to get the strawberry
fruit.
frosting if you want it to be healthy.
That's a good one. Strawberry
Yeah.
frosting.
Abby, what's your
Chocolate
favorite donut?
frosting.
I like them
Maple
both.
all the way, baby. I'm a maple donut
Maple?
person. Yeah. They're bussin'.
Abby,
like
will you
that's
do
like
a mic
cream.
check real quick?
Mic check. Oh yeah. Yeah. What's up with the mic check?
That was perfect.
Am I good?
Yeah, sounds great.
That was
Sounds
perfect.
good.
Fuck yeah.
What's your favorite kind of donut, Amy? Or
Let's see,
Layla? Lele?
I look like an Amy right now. I like chocolate frosted, strawberry frosted, chocolate.
It's a lot of donuts.
Yeah, I like donuts.
I like donuts too.
Everyone
does
likes
Brittany.
donuts.
Why
Brittany
is it
likes
okay
donuts.
to eat desserts for breakfast?
Brittany likes donuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coconut shrimp donuts. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, twice she posted, "I love donuts."
They make
Are you
Again,
doing the
donut
finger with the
burgers.
donut?
Yeah, the donut. Yeah, the donut is it's a universal symbol for so
It's good
many
for
things.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to.
Everyone likes donuts, and everyone likes Britney. Who doesn't like Britney? Come
She
on.
took down her picture.
the red,
Her naked
the
picture.
purple one.
No, the one of orange where she says she likes donuts and she wears her orange outfit.
It's on the second post, the one with the purple top, because she posted it twice.
This one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't want her to
She was
sing.
talking about me.
Or is it the red? Yeah, it's this one, I think.
This is again. I love donuts.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
But she took the orange one down.
Yeah, she
I
took
mean,
the
how
orange
could
one
she
down.
not like if you're a celebrity and like you tuned in to like my show, not to sound super narcissistic and egotistical, but it's a good show. Like, why wouldn't they like it? They're like millennials going into all the symbolism.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Missed Halloween this year.
I
I'm
saw
so-
Britney live. I've seen her.
Britney Spears live?
Yeah.
Have you seen her vagina? I'm just curious because a couple people who have seen her live have seen her vagina. So
Really?
I thought that was pretty
No.
interesting. Yeah, Summer is one of them.
Oh, so she's really a woman then.
I
Yeah.
heard if
I've
you
seen
see
her
it live,
vagina.
you reach total enlightenment.
She had that Bacchus.
That explains a lot.
I've seen her vagina on Instagram.
Like for real?
Yes, and I was like, it was alive, and she was doing a yoga thing, and I was like, this isn't gonna go good, or it wasn't alive. But if I was watching my friends do it live, I was like, those pants are too loose to do yoga in. Like I was already feeling sick about it. Like I didn't like what was gonna happen. And her boxers were like all, where you roll them 3 times at your waist, so they were so short. And then she like got down and she cat cowed for a minute, and I'm like, oh shit, please don't do this, Brittany. And then she was like cat cow, and then whoop, right in the, and it was like right up Brittany, and I was like screenshot. Oh,
Oh my goodness,
so
Brittany.
yeah, it's definitely on her page. It's still there too.
Really?
Brittany, yeah,
Her hoo-ha.
yeah. You have to watch the whole video of her doing yoga. It was before she burnt down her gym.
So, besides the obvious, like Hollywood, rituals that they do they really do rituals, or is this something that they just say that they do? So, I don't know what to believe anymore. Or are these rituals like really real? Do they really do anything? Like, are
What do
they
you
conjuring
mean? Like,
shit? Is it?
yeah, ritual. Like when you roll up a blunt, that's a ritual.
That is
You
a
know what I mean?
ritual, and I
When you
yeah, I do a good
Yep.
job at it.
So it's a ritual. So the rituals are real. It's just something that people do. Now, are they doing it on purpose? Like this is a planned ritual? The symbolism shows that it is.
Mm-hmm.
Is it working? Well, they earn very high levels of power over the consciousness of the masses. So I would say that it's all real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, going back to the whole Super Bowl of it all, if you watched the last couple super or half times and you saw the weekend one, that was a total ritual. It was
Yeah.
insane. And then
Touch
the Rihanna
yourself
one,
alone. And while
yeah,
everyone was alone touching themselves.
it was the
That
most
was
bizarre
behind them.
shit. It was so dark. And it's like I used to love to watch the halftime show. Now I feel like
Masturbation.
I don't think it's a good idea to watch it.
There was a weird point in time when the halftime show used to be like this patriotic thing. Like they would do anthem and they would go over the top, making it patriotic. And I think that the Janet Jackson one was the first time that it was
Yeah.
like, oh, now it's going to be about who can like up the ante on being an edgelord, and it kind of changed what it used to be about.
It did. It seemed like that was a turning point.
It's not like there was this nostalgia, like, oh, the Super Bowl used to be so good and pure. It's just that there was a definite like, okay, we're gonna rebrand it a little bit now. Now all of a sudden the halftime show is gonna be a spectacle versus like just a traditional intermission, you know.
Is there a bigger moment at any Super Bowl? Am I being biased when I say this? Is there any bigger moment that you guys can remember at a Super Bowl? Maybe the tit, and then Whitney Houston singing the Star Spangled Banner?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
remember. The best ever.
Ever.
The best ever. Hands down, ever sung ever in history.
Like it may
50 Cent.
it's so good.
No.
I think of Prince and his freaking guitar with his emancipation symbol.
Did you see that live though? Because I rewatched it on
Yeah.
YouTube and it was fabulous. I
I need to
love
rewatch it. It was
I don't think I ever seen it.
it's see, oh my goodness. Prince is amazing.
I love Prince.
His whole style is so rebellious. The video, my mom made me watch Prince.
What's your favorite
movie.
Prince song?
I got one.
When the birds are be crying all the time.
When Doves
When
Cry.
Doves Cry.
That's my favorite.
That's my favorite
When the
one. No,
birds be crying.
Party Like 1999.
Oh, 7 too though.
New
'cause
World
Andy
is
brought
good.
it back up into my world.
Prince.
Green's
uh,
hot.
New
Diamonds
World.
and pearls are hot.
Yeah.
The lyrics of the New World are
Get
very
off.
fascinating. If you guys want to go down a rabbit hole,
What are they?
just look them up. It's
What?
okay. Hold on.
What one?
New
Will you-
World.
Will you sing it to us?
Oh, I don't.
Pop Life's hot. Sexy motherfucker.
New World.
Hot.
It'll
Prince.
heal you, Layla.
He had died with some really interesting book too, like some weird, rare, like esoteric book. Do
Okay.
you guys remember what that was?
Mm-mm.
No, but he was like
remember
But
Cream.
he died in an elevator, and the elevator, it like for Prince, is always represented the devil.
Listen to this. All right. When the sharpest vibration saves you from obliteration, the intelligence of your bed reacts, covering your head to toe with air-filled sack. When the lines blur, every boy and girl, how we gonna make it into this brave new world? Love for one another, new world, love for one another. When you find some isolation, but the tracker you got from vaccination keeps
What?
playing, you never walk alone. Over and over, they're listening, especially on the phone. And then the chorus repeats and it goes, wait a minute, new world. Did you hear about the new pill? It feels like sex, guaranteed to thrill with no ill side effects. A pill that will stop the wrinkles, a pill that will stop the pain, a pill that will make a baby never seek political gain. What's it all for when you can alter biology? Who or what? Then, my friend, will you and I be? When the sharpest vibration saves you from obliteration, when the melting pot stirs, how you going to take it? When you can't tell him from her, how are you going to fake it? How are we going to make it in this brave new
Oh,
world? Blah blah blah, and then it just repeats that chorus.
that's nuts. That's what a
Yeah.
crazy. That's nuts.
Prince is going to get himself kicked off YouTube if he's not careful.
Are we talking about me just saying all of that right now?
No, I just mean the
Oh.
actual Prince. He needs to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we start our own band and call it King?
I'm down for that.
Because they got Queen and
That would be
Queen.
rad.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
Why can't
So
we be the
I'm
royal
just gonna
family?
I was just like pulling up
Royal family.
weird facts of Prince's death, and I don't even care what came up. I just thought my Google bar was hella interesting right now. Look at my Google bar.
Ooh,
Oh.
the red dragon.
Mm.
Google bar. Show us your Google bar.
Show me your Google bar. Hey daddy, show me your Google bar. Google is just a
Show me that
word.
search history.
Google's just a word that's put there to make your head feel like I can't even do that. Like it
Google.
makes your head
Googly
just like
eyes.
I don't know how to think that far. I need Google to do it for me. And it wants you to kind of think that so fast now that if I'm like, hey, who was in that one movie that me and you could figure out in 15 seconds of making our brain work, but instead I can't even do that. Let me Google it.
Google.
So I found the best TV show. It's called The Detroiters.
Detroiters.
Tell
Tell
us
us
more
about
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
It's a fake
I mean,
number.
it's absolutely fantastic. It's hilarious. It came out in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
2 seasons, and it's so funny. I've watched it like 4 or 5 times.
What's the plot about? Like,
There's these 2 guys that are best friends,
uh-huh.
and they run an advertising company in Detroit, but they make really crappy, low budget ads. Tim Robinson is the guy in it, and this guy Sam, I think Richardson or something. And they're so funny. It's so awesome. It's like you know that one show that's popular, not Leave the World Behind, but
I think you should leave.
I Think You Should Leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's by the same guys. That was what they created before they created that show. So it's like if you like I Think You Should Leave, then
I've never
you'll
seen
really-
it.
That's funny too.
Yeah.
Oh, and I watched The Secretary last night.
How was it?
So they say it's the original 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. It's
And
a great
the,
movie.
the guy's name is Grey.
Yeah, I believe so.
Too.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And it's got one of the stars in The Office in it. And it's about masculine
James
and feminine.
Spader.
Yeah, Spader.
I like how he's one of the stars of The Office.
Yeah, he's really
James
good. But
Spader.
he plays the same character in The Office though, like through his.
He plays that character in every movie except for
the character is James Spader.
that's James
Yeah.
Spader, except for Stargate, where he plays that character in a different outfit.
So did you like the movie?
I did like it. Yeah,
It's a great movie.
At first, I was like, "Oh my god,
This is weird.
This is just like issues, like with the chick and they're cutting herself and all that. You know, it's just like, oh my goodness.
That's
But then,
Donnie Darko's sister.
oh, okay. So then it went into the film, and then it was a lot about masculine and feminine polarities. And it was like a movie, like you don't see movies like that anymore.
Yeah.
That is just like, what like
An interesting finish too.
It was an interesting finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It sticks with you. It's a movie that kind of sticks in your brain after it. You're like, interesting.
It is interesting. I like that movie.
I was on it.
No.
I thought it was eh.
Did you like 50 Shades of Grey?
No, I thought it was garbage.
Yeah,
Did
that's.
you like Twilight?
I do, and I still do. Forever a Twilight fan.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey is Twilight. It's the same story.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like the person who wrote Twilight wrote it for it was 50 Shades of Grey, like fantasy.
Yeah.
So that's like where it comes from. That's crazy.
I think it's. I just didn't get down on those. I had lady friends who got down on that.
Someone says, "Donut, do you identify?"
I thought it was really mild. If I'm being
which one did
honest,
you?
it was
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
what I kind of was
disappointing.
like.
I was like, this is all supposed to be BDSM,
Yeah,
and like
this is
she's
like
I'm really not into it.
baby
so they
shit.
don't really do it. So it's not all
Well,
that
it's
exciting.
more about like feminine and masculine energies. The way when I watched it, it probably came out the same time David Deita's The Way of the Superior Man came out.
I don't think I've seen The Superior Man.
It's a book about masculine and feminine polarities.
Oh, it's a book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I need.
But it was interesting because the girl, she's like submissive, and even his ex-wife, who wasn't submissive, and she was like in the masculine role, and she's like, submissive. And the girl, she was like the most submissive, and the guy, it was interesting. It was just an interesting ass movie. And then Steven Spielberg make it? That made it even weirder.
That makes it so weird. I didn't know that.
I think so. I'm not sure, but like you could see like Steven Spielberg. I guess Steven Spielberg would be pretty like in charge because he's a director. So he's
Of Drew Barrymore and Heather O'Rourke.
Yeah, he's like, do this, Drew Barrymore. Do this, E.T.
He's like, hey, Heather O'Rourke, let me impact you to the point of death.
Yeah.
That's what I think of Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg's a little punk.
He's gross.
Fucking rapist.
I do think that. I think Drew Barrymore, even like her.
But he's very talented, though, with his films.
He is, but he's a fucking
maybe.
rapist.
I wonder how much of their stuff is done on committee. If they're like allowed to run the world as we know it and produce the films as we know it and run the studios as we know it, how much of what we consider them to be genius at is really done all in a big group?
Well, even Drew Barrymore that you mentioned comes from Hollywood royalty, and her dad was in a movie that I guess exposed some parts of Freemasonry, and it's been lost. It's one of like the films lost to time, apparently.
Are you serious? What's that called?
She goes back all the way to New York theater. The Barrymores are like the Hollywood royalty. They're like Chaplin Hollywood royalty. Like they're such a big name. And so there's like a bunch of famous pictures that you can find each one of the Barrymores with their profile shot done in black and white. And
are you a Mason?
Yeah, John Barrymore.
That's crazy. We should watch this one next.
It's lost. Like it's legitimately lost.
Oh, that's even weirder. It's like Trolls 1. Like there's Trolls 2, but we're Trolls 1.
This is a lost film.
Yeah, so this isn't her father. This is John Barrymore, her grandfather.
Her
Her dad
grandfather, yeah.
her dad becomes this like schmo and marries Jade. And Jade raises Drew as she just is like a thirsty never was in Hollywood and takes Drew into like every club. Drew is in like Studio 54 and stuff, or like
Oh, dude, it's 354. That's
yes.
some like deep state.
I don't think Drew. I saw this clip. I don't think Drew Barrymore knew what she was getting herself into because
She was
the
3.
well, yeah. Well, when she started getting into the film industry, like really getting into it with Steven Spielberg, there was this like I guess clip that I fell upon, and she really liked Steven Spielberg, and I'm guessing this was like how he was treating her before things got really bad with her and him. Because before she even started the movie, she's like, "Oh, I love Steven." But then after the movie, she was talking about how yeah, the only thing I don't like about this industry is like how everyone is very, very nice in the beginning, but then um, they don't become so nice after you get to know them. And I was just like, oh, you poor girl. Like, you did not know what he was about. He like literally brainwashed her, probably, and then had his way with her. And then she started, bugging out, doing drugs, going crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
can tell she does her book Little Girl Lost, and you can almost see her MK Ultra. She in every there isn't a Disney celebrity that you can take or a Kanye and watch their celebrity unravel, and Drew Barrymore didn't do that. She's one of the very few child stars to come back from her unraveling. And they give her a production studio and she's allowed to do films with Adam Sandler. That's like her okay, her and Aniston, Greek Aniston and Barrymore. They're allowed to make movies with Sandler on Netflix.
Netflix. Shirt coming out soon. You heard it here first.
Shirt is coming out like tomorrow, and then Netflix will be the secret society of good guys, so we can watch movies.
You heard it here first.
Netflix. You kind of, even though you're Amy Winehouse esque, you are mob wifey.
Yes, very.
Mob wife aesthetic.
Mob wifey is Slavic, Italian, Albanian. Okay, it's a Mediterranean aspect. That's mob wife. Furs, even I would say Slavic. I would say, Russian, yeah. Mob wife aesthetic.
Yes.
Gold,
The
blinged
Irish
out.
are not good at being mob wives. The Irish didn't know how to be very good mob wives.
I really like the Happy Gilmore. I'm scared to watch it. Yeah, I'm scared to watch it now because when you watch a film that you liked and then you're an adult and you watch it, it's not a good movie. Oh, and also, Chris Farley was so funny, but I don't want to watch his movies because I feel like they're not going to be funny.
I've met Chris Farley in real life.
Did you do coke with him?
No, I was young and I was in high school, and it was around my boyfriend's birthday, and we went out to eat and with him and his best friend, and it was at a nice restaurant in town, and Chris Farley was at a table with his parents, and it was when he was Saturday Night Live. It was Saturday Night Live, Chris Farley. And so we didn't want to interrupt his meal. And we wrote a note to him. And we were like, we don't want to interrupt you, but we're huge fans and blah, blah, blah. And he came over to our table and pulled his pants like all the way up to his tits and was like, you kids better stay in school or you're going to be living in a van down by the river, and just disrupted this whole restaurant and didn't give a shit. And then his parents sat down with us, and his mom had like an old school wallet with pictures and like showed me pictures of like him in high school, and his like it maybe was like the first time it was like so new in his career, but we were such little drama nerds that we knew everything about his existence as a comedian, and so he just totally played it up for us. So yeah, somewhere I have like 2 Chainey Happy New Year, Chris Farley.
That's awesome. Can we? And it is New Year's today. Can we talk
Oh yeah,
about
it's
the
New
time
Year's.
we all sat at a table in a restaurant, you, me, and Layla, and that guy came up and asked to take our picture?
Oh yeah, that was just so random.
He was taking this old guy was taking a picture of his family in this restaurant, and there people were
It
saying weird
wasn't
stuff to
right
him.
here.
Not
It
this
wasn't.
restaurant.
No, we looked like hell and smelt like soot.
It was like the
You're
last day.
paranoid.
And
That was before he
but
got there.
Katie and I are both wearing our Secret Society of Good Guys hoodies, I think, though. But anyway, he comes up and he's like he's taking a picture of his family, and then he looks over at us. He's like, "Can I take your guys' picture?" And we're
I'm
like,
like, all right,
"Sure."
hey.
So we're all like leaning into it. He takes a picture. He goes and sits down. And a couple minutes later, he gets back up and he shows us the picture. And I thought maybe he airdropped it to somebody, and he didn't. He was just like, "Look, this is you guys." It's so
It's so
fucking
cute.
random.
It was sweet.
I've never had somebody come up and be like, "Can I take your picture?"
I've had it happen to me.
It happens to me all the time.
Oh, you guys are
I was
fucking
reading
awesome.
the
It's happened to
Iliad
me,
once
too.
on Bleecker Street.
Weirdo.
Are you
And
serious? On Bleecker Street?
yeah, it was on Bleecker Street because
I'm named after that street.
I worked there, and I was reading the Iliad, and this photographer's like, "What are you reading?" I was like, "The Iliad." He's like, "Can I please take a picture of you?" And he posted. He had his like own like page of like photography, and pretty well known. I didn't know who he was, and yeah, I was grabbing onto the Iliad, and he's like, "That's an amazing picture. Nobody reads that book. It's such a great book." And yeah,
I was there at Denny's,
Denny's?
2-3 in the morning.
Where?
Getting some French toast in Phoenix.
Oh.
And this lady comes up to me and she runs up to the table. I'm with my friend and we're talking about sobriety. And she's all like, "I'm sorry, I got to ask you. I know this is weird, but are you Donut?" And I was just all like, yes,
Oh,
yes.
damn,
I
do you
am."
reckon?
Yeah, it was back when I was viral, back in the lockdown days when I wasn't.
That's
they didn't
awesome.
remove my channel. It was awesome, yeah. And then I took a picture. She had her kids, and I was just so like, yeah.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. I felt like a celebrity, and I've been working behind the scenes my whole life, and I met all these like people that are famous to me, and they were all mean, and I hate them.
Majority are.
And if I could get more famous, I'm gonna come after them.
Yeah, who was being mean to Donut?
Those Satanists.
Yeah, who was
Who's
being
being mean to Donut?
Donut, I have a
They
secret
know-
society
they're
of
not
good
worth
guy
me
question.
even bringing
Oh
up
yeah, we have a new
their name.
question for you, Donut.
They know.
Oh,
He just cut his mic cord, I think. He just cut his own camera cord. He's like, they know who they are. Oh shit.
oh, he's frozen.
That's actually the
He
best,
is
one of
a
the better
knife.
frozen faces I've
Yeah.
seen in a
Whoa,
long
something
time.
With the knife
magical
up.
just happened
Looks
here right
pretty
now.
badass.
Question, knife, frozen.
Well, okay, we're gonna leave him there until he
Mhm.
comes back, and then I'll ask Abby because I actually thought this was interesting. Is Spielberg, Katzenberg, and Geffen are the creative owners of DreamWorks, and this also goes into this idea of what Paranoid American said in an episode I don't even know how long ago, but Disney owning nostalgia is so dangerous, and so them owning DreamWorks and all the CGI and all this other stuff, it is like it's like what could it do and implant in our brain?
What couldn't it implant in your brain?
Yeah, like it
That's
seems like
really the
Inception.
question. Yeah. And the fact that it's called DreamWorks is just telling you the spell.
Yeah, it just seems so out in the open. It's crazy. I don't know. I wonder if
We started talking
You guys like
about
my
music and,
tattoos?
like,
I
how
feel pretty
easy it was.
badass about my freaking tattoos here.
let's
Are those-
see.
are
Let's
those
see.
real or
Put
are
it to
those,
the
like,
camera.
iron
Let's
on?
fucking go.
Oh, they're total fake, but they're badass because I felt pretty butch tonight. I felt like Axl Rose, except that his
Are,
are
look
are
colored.
there
pretty
lots
butch.
of like a competition workout that have tattoos, or is that like generally frowned upon?
I mean, a lot of bodybuilders have tattoos, but you don't really want, like in my category, you don't want any leg tattoos because you don't want anything that's going to blur your lines. So if I have tattoos and you can't see my sharp lines in my legs, then I'm going to get marked down. And it's not because I have tattoos, it's because they can't see my muscle definition. So tattoos actually are a hindrance.
They are a hindrance to the world because that is how they tell us apart in the prison system.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know. That's why they push tattooing on us as a trend.
Well, and then when you go into the military, when you go into your medical processing, they take pictures of all your tattoos and they say, well, we're looking up to make sure that they're not prison tattoos and gang tattoos. And it's like, no, they're just making sure that they will document everything about you.
And
So
if
they can
you get a
track you on
tattoo,
AI.
you have to get permission once you're in the military to get a tattoo.
This is government property.
Yeah, because otherwise it's destruction of government property.
Oh, you know what's interesting? They talk about this. Who was it? Maxwell, Jordan Maxwell. Yeah, he talks about the whole army and why they call them dog tags because they're like literally treated as dogs. They're housed, they're clothed, they're fed just like a dog would when you would bring it home. And royalty even call them dogs. Like obey, you must obey like a dog, which is pretty interesting.
Well, I watched Shawshank Redemption like while I was in my A school, and they wear the same exact uniforms as the old Navy dungaree uniforms. It was like I was watching myself on TV. I'm like, they have their prisoner number, and we have our friggin', our ID numbers and stuff. It's just funny. There were so many similarities.
Mm-hmm.
Shawshank. That is Shawshank Redemption at one point in one of the lowest times of my life. And I was like a few days from completely losing it, but I was like in the brinks of the lowest low. And
That was so funny.
oh, you're back. But my Maria said to me, well, are you just gonna lay in the shit tube or are you gonna keep crawling, Andy? And it's always just like such a good piece of advice just in your lowest lows of life. Like, are you just gonna lay in the shit tube? Or are you gonna keep crawling? There's no going back.
It's all about getting back up on that horse.
You gotta get out of the shit tube first. The shit tube is metaphorically the worst place and the worst real life place.
Well, that leads us to our question for Donut, doesn't it?
Yes, we were waiting
Perfect
for you to
lead-in.
get back.
Oh, look, the clone of me or my twin.
No.
Oh, we've done that one.
No, there's something else.
Have you ever farted into a flame?
No, I haven't. But I got an answer to this. No, I did not. No.
Have you ever witnessed someone fart into flame?
Well, we put a couple bottle rockets in my friend butt.
Wait, what's that?
Oh, you were doing the
bottle
whole
rocket?
jackass thing?
Yeah, we also did it in those girls' breasts too. So like we call it booby rocket or whatever. And then we put
The titty rocket.
And then they would shoot up and the fire would go everywhere. It was hilarious.
Interesting.
Yeah, we used to do crazy stuff like Jackass, Las Vegas. I got stories for days of just like, but no farting on the flames. What we would do is we would like get as much flammable stuff that we could find and set it on fire. And one time the fire department had to show up, and I could have gotten a lot of trouble, but we were kids.
I've shot somebody I was aiming at somebody with a bottle rocket, but I shot them. They balled up. It was a lady. It wasn't my girlfriend, but it was a lady friend. And she balled up right when I shot it at her instead of like running. And then it just and it was like balled up and it like burnt a hole in the crotch of her jeans. And she had like white jeans on. And so then her nickname became Fire Crotch and she didn't even have red hair.
That's the best kind of nickname where it doesn't exactly fit, but you had to be there.
Yeah, like everyone's like, this doesn't make sense. And it's like, whatever. It just always like, oh, what up, fire crotch? But it's just
My softball coach gave me and another one of my teammates a dip and everything, and we thought we were all being cool. And then a little while later, I'm throwing up, and then so is she. So for like the rest of the season, I was Ralph and she was Chucky.
But he gave it to you though?
Yeah.
Ralph and Chucky.
Yeah.
Old Ralph and Chucky over here with their
Yeah.
dip. They thought they were gonna be cool.
Oh yeah, and it was because I was swallowing it because I got tired of like spitting and my spit like being all stringy, so I just started swallowing my spit. Bad idea.
A coworker of mine told me something weird today. Because customers, we just talk about shit. And welcome to the Golden Shit Club, everybody.
Oh,
There's
look
gold
at
in your shit. Just
Robert
so you know.
named your ass Goldie.
Oh, I love it.
I kind of
love it.
do love it.
I do like it.
Since we're on the topic of ass, the whole 2 girls 1 cup thing
The
situation.
Goldie, the Golden Dawn. That is your ass.
I love that.
I do too.
So
That's
apparently
the
there's
Church of the Golden Dawn, maybe.
Oh,
It's Abby's ass.
y'all want to worship?
So apparently there's another video that went out that was viral about a man who had a kink and sat on a mason jar, like a medium-sized mason jar, and it went in his rectum. And the rectum was so tight that it had crushed the mason jar. And he apparently pulled the shards out of his ass. And that's like a kink that spread around the internet, apparently. And he saw it with his own eyes out of the asshole.
Was
Yes.
that a Freemason ritual?
Yeah,
I
no,
have no
it's called
fucking idea.
masonry.
What is your algorithm?
No, this is not. This is real life today at work.
Oh,
Yes, we were
It's work
talking about
related.
just random shit. And, bartenders, we just talk about random shit to entertain people. And we're like, oh, yeah, I think, Viagra came in the topic because whatever, for some reason it came up. And then
What happens
kinks,
if a woman takes Viagra?
they get horny as
they
fuck.
get horny.
Yeah.
Bodybuilders take Viagra before they go on stage, male or female,
Ooh,
because it helps your
interesting.
vascularity.
And it helps
Oh, well, there's this
produce
new
multiple
thing that
orgasms.
you can put your hand. They got this new like cryotherapy with the cold. They got this new thing where you put your hand in this warm thing, and then it's supposed to circulate your blood. It's going to be like a new hot thing for all the ED.
What, like a paraffin wax?
It's like so there's cryotherapy where you go in and they
Yeah.
freeze you and then you feel great. I did it. It was amazing. But these same companies are also making this thing with your hand. You put your hand in it like a glove and it heats up your hand.
And it gives you an erection?
Yeah.
Are you sure you put your hand in it?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll text my friend and ask him.
I
if-
know,
'cause
it
that just
seems like a
seems like a tall
Nintendo
tale to me.
glove.
Put his wang in it, see what happens.
Yeah,
That sounds
like
way more exciting.
Maybe that will do the opposite thing, and then he'll want to start writing.
or you
I-
put your hand in it and then you can't jerk off.
I
And
heard
it's like,
soccer
haha,
was
fooled you.
created so men would, or kids or whatever, teenagers would stop touching themselves. So they created soccer.
Well, that's why they
What?
created circumcision too.
Oh man, circumcision scares me.
I don't know why they do
It was
that.
created like
I mean,
the
it looks
Pilgrims
great,
did it,
but
the
I feel bad.
Calvinists.
I feel bad.
They did it so men couldn't masturbate because they had to use lube.
Oh, because when you're not circumcised, you produce your own lubrication.
Hmm.
I don't understand. Really?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
produce lubrication
The
if
tip
you're not-
stays
yeah.
moist.
An
And-
uncut man doesn't need lube. He can
And he has
he
more
could
nerve
choke
endings and
his chicken just
more
fine.
sensitive and more nerve endings there. There's more sensation to an uncut versus cut.
But I theorize that they were trying to turn the tip of the dick into a clitoris as well. Like, I think there's something with the scalping of it. I just don't think it makes sense. Like, I know they're like, that was to keep it clean, but I don't think that was the case. They were putting the baby in the bathwater last. I don't think they were like, you know what we should do? Let's cut the tip of the penis off. They weren't doing it for that reason.
Yeah.
So it's like they're doing some other kind of ritual involved in
Well,
this.
in Catholicism, part of the ritual, at least I've had it explained, is that when you're first born, you get baptized, and they do like the circumcision, hopefully earlier on rather than later. But
I thought Catholics don't.
It's Catholics do.
Well, I didn't know
Catholics
that.
do.
And they it's supposed to be like basically the ring, like you're removing a ring from the boy, so you're removing this aspect of the feminine from the male, so that later on in life they have to reunite with the feminine, and that's not just them like reuniting with their wife, whatever, but it's supposed to be like the ring of like reuniting with Jesus, because you're basically separated from birth from your other half, and then this is like signifying becoming whole again.
You look so serious.
Yeah, I thought Catholics weren't too, just because I know like a lot of the Latin American Catholics definitely aren't.
Well, that is probably also to do with how like home birth and hospitalization and all this other stuff. But
Reclaiming the hood.
No pun intended.
That's what one of the real, I can't see, ride or die.
Reclaiming the hood.
Mm.
I know all the stuff seems like weird, but I mean, alcohol alone, I feel like that must take I mean, I'm just some rando dyke over here, but I would just guess alcohol takes like 25 good working years off a penis.
Is he frozen?
What about like Dr. Pepper?
That's the devil right there.
That's all. Like, is he frozen right now?
Is he doing a ritual and he turned into the devil?
I am getting some Anton LaVey vibes right now.
Hold on, let me screenshot
He's
this.
turning into the dragon. He's turning into
know.
the dragon.
I screenshotted that.
Because what time is it in Vegas right now?
I know. He has to come back after he's frozen.
It is midnight in Vegas right now.
Midnight in Vegas, and he turned into the dragon. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see if Donut will return.
Happy New Year.
Happy joy.
Happy wood
joy.
dragon. You're the
Don't
wood
sweep your
dragon.
floor today. It's bad luck.
Don't clean your house.
Wait till Sunday.
Don't wash your ass.
But doesn't that help the commies if you follow that?
Yeah, that does seem.
Isn't that like
good
helping
point.
the Chinese? Like they don't want us to clean.
I ain't sweeping away my good luck.
Isn't
I'm
Marie
gonna call my
Kondo?
luck dragon.
Listen to this.
Falcor.
Netflix. This is such brainwashing. So Marie Kondo comes on and she convinces everyone to throw away their stuff if it doesn't give them immediate joy. And most of your shit shouldn't give you immediate joy. Some of it might be your dead relative's ashes or a painting that really makes you think. Like, joy is such a weird emotion to throw your stuff away if it doesn't give you immediate joy. So I think it's weird. Marie Kondo, welcome back. You froze a little like Al Pacino in
I look like Al Pacino when he was younger. There's some, especially when I'm angry.
Well, if you would have seen how you froze, you would have thought you were gonna come after Keanu Reeves.
Look, my.
Yeah, for sure.
Look,
It
my.
was
Look, my.
definitely devil's advocate.
Say hello to my little friend.
I got a Chabano in each and every corner, man, looking after everything. I got octopus coming up my ears, man.
You talking to me?
Scarface.
Are you talking to me? Hey, Frank, do you know what a chaza is, Frank? That's a pig.
They're
that goes
requesting
by-
you
I
to
love
speak,
that
Thomas.
movie. It's just a little weird. His little relationship with his sister. It's just a little weird. His obsession. It's a weird obsession.
It's a little weird, yes.
Yeah. So, okay. Rituals Hollywood.
His sister was super
Okay.
happy. Found a great guy.
So the red carpets, we know that's a ritual. The movies, their subliminal message is part of the rituals. We know that. Their MK Ultra in their movies, we know is part of the rituals. What else do you think that they do? Do you think that they like in their movies they're putting like frequency tones in there to like trigger us? Are they I don't know. There has to be more to their rituals than that we know that we're not aware of also. There has to be.
Well,
Like
movies,
literally
they're also what's mainly responsible now for keeping the whole holiday traditions going. Like if you
that's
look
true.
at it, movies are the big part of like, up Santa's back in the movies again, and the Thanksgiving movies and the Halloween movies. If you were to
Commercials.
remove the slow release of movies throughout the year, I feel like holidays would blend in just a little bit more, and it would also become a little bit more like localized, like regions would have slightly different holidays, but these movies, they keep everyone on a standard. It's like the
That's true.
atomic clock of culture.
Interesting. And like the cast. Are they the cast are the spellcasters, aren't they? The cast. Like in the end of the movie, they just, roll out the cast members' names, one by one. And then you have movie stars who had original names but changed them into a specific name to fit what exactly? I don't know. Is it like wordplay magic when they have a cast crew with certain stars and their wording, their etymology of the words when
Well, they're
they're
stars.
grouped together? Yeah.
You're
back to the
watching the
whole-
stars, and so it's the new astrology.
And what you were saying the other night, Cheney, about Rockstar?
Yeah, like a comet, a shooting star. They're letting you know ahead of time that this is going to be fleeting.
That's very Crowleyan, because he used to say that everyone is a star.
And
So
they
you
call them
wanna be
Hollywood
on
squares,
Rockstar?
but they're actually Hollywood stars in squares.
Well, Hollywood Squares is just a game show.
But
And it was called Hollywood Land.
Yeah, but the Hollywood squares, aren't they where the Hollywood stars are? Or do they call them the Hollywood stars or the Hollywood squares?
The Hollywood Squares is just a game show, but the Walk of Fame in Hollywood
Yeah.
is stars.
So okay.
But they're in tiles, but just because it's still in a sidewalk.
Hollywood squares.
But the Hollywood Squares is a game show, and it's like tic-tac-toe.
That's a whole ritual.
They're L7s.
And they use the X's and O's in NFL too to do their game plans and strategies. The X's and O's. This team versus that team.
I think that's every war.
The X's and O's.
And that's how kisses and hugs.
XOXO.
It's an ancient symbol of the mark of the beast.
The X and O?
Yes. I got
Who
it.
had that symbol, XO, as a album? XO. That was. Who was that? XO had an album named that. The Weeknd, XO.
Yeah. They all use the XO.
Yeah, The Weeknd. His first album, I think, was XO. And that was after like ecstasy. They called them XOs. XOs. As the ecstasy pills. That's like a slang term for it, XOs.
Here, I have it on my screeny. Drink.
Oh, here it is. Got it. Look. Check this shit. Damn.
Yeah, X and O. Wow.
Shit. This is David.
We got to pull that up.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's the same thing. Yep.
Oh, yours is different. Hold on. What's yours one? Donut. Let me drop your
It looks like an hourglass.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, no, this is where I learned it from. That is the hourglass, but it's still the X and the O. It's the X and the O. But yeah,
That's a nice camera.
It also looks like the Spider-Man symbol.
this is a $4,000 camera.
Oh shit. No wonder.
It's I can flex on everybody real quick. You know, it's a GH4 Lumix, And the reason those run around $2,000, maybe not anymore because it's not autofocused, but I have a Metabones adapter on it. And then I got this really nice $2,000 lens that's slapped up on there, which gives it that nice depth of field.
Yeah.
See right there.
It's like, what kind of camera is that?
That's that
Very
GS
nice.
Pro. Yes. And then I could turn I can make it bright. It's all manual.
Huh. I wonder.
I've had this camera for so long.
Even the way that TVs are made now is different than the TVs that we had before. Weren't the TVs before like separate pictures and all combined to make one big picture?
There was a few different kinds, but yeah,
Yeah.
like projection TVs work like this, and the cathode ray tubes would usually work like that, where you'd have a different bulb for each different color.
That does something.
You reminded me, there's this clip of Bjork explaining how the inside of a TV works. Have you ever seen this before?
Who's Bjork?
She's
Oh,
Iceland or
that-
Greenland.
Is that girl with that accent that talks very?
It is, and she like they're taking apart a TV, and she's and describing like it's a little city with little people that live in here and make it work.
Yeah. I remember that actually. Yeah.
She was married to Matthew Barney.
I didn't know that. Yeah, from the Kremester cycle.
I remember her because of her accent. I was like, I love her.
She's so cool.
Yeah.
And she had a weird, didn't somebody send her a bomb around 9/11 when all the anthrax stuff was going off? Wasn't there a big bomb Bjork scare?
I don't know, but she slapped
I'm gonna
that
look
one
it up.
chick at the airport.
They were actually supposed to take out Bjork, but they misheard it as New York.
New York.
Yeah, so good.
You know, like
Sorry, too soon.
Grimes is like the new Bjork.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
I could kind of see it, except that this is something that I wanted to bring up with this ritual is that X is really making their leap in this fast forwarded way. The amount of rockets they're shooting off, and they're like, we're going to get humans further away from Earth than ever before, than in decades this year. And we want everyone to be on X. You can stream all your X content now to your television, and you can get rid of your phones because you can just be on X and it'll work on, it's like he's really pushing for it to be an everything app, which then becomes some kind of privatized communism.
This is where we get the truth in the news. We're going to get the news and the freedom of speech. The freedom of speech goes onto the platform. That's how we do it on the X platform.
It said on the 12th of September, 1996, obsessed Uruguayan American fan Ricardo Lopez mailed an acid-spraying letter bomb to Bjork's London home and then killed himself. But the package was intercepted by the Metropolitan Police Service. Lopez filmed himself in the process of making the acid bomb, which was intended to severely scar the singer's face and torso. The nearly 18-hour videotape described Lopez's obsession with Bjork, the construction of the device, his thoughts on love, and other subjects, including racial remarks against Bjork's then boyfriend Goldie. Shut the fuck up,
yo.
I'm putting it up on the screen. That is so wild.
You hear that, Miss Goldie? Golden ass.
Look at.
He's from Uruguay?
No, that was her then. The guy that tried to kill her. This is her then boyfriend was Goldie.
Who's Goldie?
Let's click on Goldie.
And they got that Aesop Rocky song called Goldie.
Clifford Joseph Price, MBE, better known as Goldie, is an English music producer. Oh, wait. Oh, I hate how I wish it just flew through my screens with me, but I have to share it.
Yeah, I hate why it does that.
Okay, here's Goldie.
He looks stressed out.
He was in Guy Ritchie's Snatched.
That's how I look when I'm stressed out.
Look at he has so much smoke around him.
Yeah, that's me too. When I'm stressed out, and smoke everywhere.
Yeah, he is bugging Goldie. It's because he got gold teeth, gold chain. Bjork's. That was 1996. That was way earlier than 9/11. But that all blends together that bit of time.
Well, they kept trying to
I
hit
only
it,
know-
right? That wasn't the first time. That like they got a hit like twice before that.
Really?
Yeah, they had I guess defused another earlier bomb that they found that was inside like the parking garage.
So the person that wanted to give the acid bomb to Bjork was in love with Bjork?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
why would he want to destroy her?
That's
All
the
that-
Sarah McLachlan song is Possession. It's like
yeah, it's like
that
Jeffrey
whole
Dahmer.
the
Like,
lyrics of that word were a letter that a stalker wrote to her, and she took the letter and made a song out of it, and everyone was like, whoa, this is so romantic, and she's like, this is from a stalker, and then everyone's like, whoa, this song's so creepy. So yeah.
Why would he want
Oh, the
Well,
song
like,
Possession?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good to know. I'm going to listen to that with different ears.
And I wanted to mention like Jared Leto in Fight Club. Like sometimes you just want to destroy something beautiful.
Beautiful.
He loved her to death. Wow.
Look
I
at
guess
here's
apparently.
the this is the
That's probably where the
Possession
term came from.
song
Good
lyrics.
news. Loved
And
you.
it's
Can you
Loved you
love
to death.
someone to the point where you want to kill them?
You
yeah,
ever heard
and
of
it's
cute aggression?
Well,
it's like
that's
this is the
yeah.
whole thing of it, and it's like listen as the wind blows, blah 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 blah, and solitude my guide. I would spend forever here and not be satisfied. But here's the part where you think it's, and I would be the one to hold you down and kiss you so hard I'll take your breath away. And after I'd wipe away the tears, just close your eyes, my dear. Like it's that
Oh, you
idea,
fucking
like
creep.
isn't it changes the whole lyrics when you're like, oh, it's not, it's like, I want to love you so hard, I want to take your breath away.
Yeah, and wipe the tears off your
Forever.
face after I do whatever I did to you? Or is it like, are we having a sweet moment after I pin you down and kiss you gently kind of thing? Or is it like against her will kind of thing?
It
Makes you
doesn't matter.
question.
You can go back to Jared Leto. I think it's interesting with Elon and Mars
It's all
and
about
Walt.
the little ultra violence.
Hmm.
Like if you want to.
Oh, necromancy. Holy shit. Who would make necromancy?
That's you said Bjork was the new what's her face?
Grimes.
Grimes is a necromancer.
So
If you could necromance the dead, could you necromance a machine? Is that the Frankenstein?
yeah, I
And
think so.
don't you, in the bed knobs and broomsticks way, if you could create an army of machines, then you just need somebody to bippity bobbity boo, and then you have walking knights. You have Terminators. That's that
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
all you need is
comic, right?
electricity in that whole Frankenstein idea, and that's how life is conceived through that spark, that electric spark, so to say. So I would say, yeah.
So it's like if Frankenstein was like this beta version of what they could maybe do now, and they hide this idea from us for a very long time, but now if you're gonna do it, I could create one against your one, but what about an army? And then if you had an army, like we all think this guy is making Tesla cars where there just happens to be an eclipse going over Texas, right, where an X is in the middle of the state, and so is this plant of SpaceX. So it's just interesting in the Jared Leto of it all with the 30 seconds to Mars and how obsessed Elon is with Mars. In this X app that's supposed to be our everything app, and how Papal was the first one to charge us $2,500 if we said something wrong online, and how Elon's the richest guy in the world and can literally control the crypto markets daily. and pretty much does with a tweet, which would always be insider trading if it was a stock, but because it's crypto, it's allowed now. I don't know. I just think it's a bizarre world, and there's a whole bunch of worship of Elon that doesn't happen. It doesn't matter the politician, it doesn't matter the actor, it doesn't matter the sports star. Elon has a different kind of worship.
I think part of it though is like he could be killing us and he's not. Therefore, worship Elon.
That's very true. But
Like he could be Bill Gatesing us, but he's doing it with a little bit more style, I guess, and a little bit more obvious short-term benefit.
well, what if, because he said that he was heartbroken when everyone like hated the fact that he was coming into the scene, and his, I guess, whole, he had that interview and he was like, yeah, he was really heartbroken how people didn't take him seriously. So what if that idea or that feeling stuck with him? And now he's like, oh yeah, you guys are not taking me
Yeah,
serious.
this is
I'm going
the
to take
Hitler at
you
art
all
school all over
fuck
again.
down. I'm going to take you motherfuckers down, and you're going to see all you bad guys are out of here. What if that's the case?
Yeah, maybe don't piss off the billionaires. Like just the world. The pro
Yeah.
tip for the world: don't piss off billionaires,
You
because they
know?
can just like create robot armies.
But doesn't
Yeah.
it also seem kind of crazy that all of SpaceX technology, including the rocket pads that it's all going on, it's all like a government subsidy thing. Tesla cars, all government subsidy thing. It's like a real push. Like if you look at everywhere they have to put these plugs in, it's like they're having to change the whole infrastructure for this, and no one's kind of buying into the infrastructure. So it seems to be like a lot of work. You're putting in 5 electric pumps in every part of town for 5 cars. It's like something isn't passing the mark on where we actually should be. Like we're not eating the apple, so to speak. Like we're not buying into the whole Elon Musk story like we should be. There are people that are. They're on X every day running chat rooms, and they have blue checks like a good little slave so they can get their allotted speech. But I don't think a majority of people are. And so I was reading like, okay, so you're going to turn this thing to the everything app, and I'm reading up that still up to 60% of the people using the app are bots. So who's really on this app? Who are the people that are the head goers on this app, that are the ones that they never have lost theirs? Like who's this Dupe Lupe or whatever this Dom Luca guy? He just comes out of nowhere because he says he's going to get the 911 tapes from the Obama chef dying, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's everywhere. It's like he's with Candace Owens all of a sudden. Like he's the hierarchy of
I
conspiracy.
never get no invite to Candace Owens or none of these. Everyone thinks that all these people are like the truthers, the red pill, and I think it comes along with how long have you been in questioning things. Because a lot of the people that I really respect and very smart, even smarter, wicked smart than me, are really into the Tuckers and all this that are just like mainstream media.
AstroTurf red pills.
Elon, like they love Elon, they love Tucker, they love all this establishment, and they're like, no, it's good. And for me, I just question that. How come I'm not getting invited on some of these things? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, invite Donut to the next one of these guys.
Yeah, Candace Owens.
Yeah, Candace.
For real.
What are you afraid of?
Like, what
Yeah,
are you doing?
or Ben.
I watch Candace Owens with her videos. Her Ben Shapiro. Rogan. Yeah. Hey Rogan, why aren't you having Donut on?
Yeah, Rogan.
Why aren't you doing Rogan episodes of favorite things so you can sell us stuff like Oprah? Oh wait, every episode is that. Literally every episode. Do you guys, are you getting tired? Do you need some alpha brain?
If I start going like full on like divisive, rather I just like, yeah, it's all about Trump, or if I go, women, you know what I mean? Like if I start doing that, then I'll probably get welcomed on.
Yeah, you guys, I want to play some. I think I can play it because I'm going to pull it up on
polarizing. because that's how you get
Polarizing, right?
yeah.
That's the word.
Because if you're polarizing people, then you're creating this energy structure around you, and they want to harness it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they're a bunch of polarizers.
That's why it's great to like be your authentic all the time, and then eventually someone's gonna like appreciate that more than that other energy that people try to put out there. That yucky,
Turn on the
shit.
radio. Nah, fuck
No,
it.
fuck
Turn
it.
it off. Fear
Oh,
is your
turn
only god
off
on the radio.
Yeah, turn it off. Yeah, I love me some Rage for the Machine.
That song is always freaking it tells the truth. It's all fucking fear porn.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna play something on X, and I feel like it should let me play because we're observing it for educational purposes only, to critique it or for
Yes,
whatever other
entertainment.
thing.
The AI
So,
don't care.
And we
yeah.
have permission because it's public.
I'm
So-
coming after y'all.
We're sharing public information.
Y'all, this cracked me up. So
Please welcome from almost Saturday Night Live, Shane Gillis.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Great.
Shane Gillis
Now-
is the best thing out there
now,
right now
Shane,
to me.
hey.
He's the funniest
I'm gonna
comedian
keep
right
my-
now.
Hey, I'm gonna keep my comments brief.
All right.
Shane, you once did a joke that I love, and I hate making requests. I saw you do a joke about Donald Trump getting shot.
All right.
And
Trying to remember.
Shane Gillis is a huge Donald Trump fan.
He said he would die funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if he dies in the joke.
No. I said, of all the presidents, I think it's fair to say Donald Trump would be the funniest one to see get shot. Because he'd be in the middle of a speech talking shit. You're gay. The shooter would be coming at him and be like, sit down, get down. What a loser, get down, sit down. But just the noise he would make when he got hit, even if you love Donald Trump, it would be funny. As soon as he got hit, he'd be like, ah.
But here, the ending of the joke is the funniest.
But the rest of the joke, which is my favorite part that didn't really, a lot of people didn't like it, was Biden. I think Biden's the first president you could punch assassinate. You just walk right up to him and be like, Mr. President, how the fuck are you doing?
Oh God, when I first saw it, I died. It was great.
I just thought it was fun for the payoff.
Oh hell yeah.
Punch assassin.
And you Karens, you gotta leave the comedians alone. Like for real, stay home. Like literally stay home. If you're offended by everything, stay home. Like they
that's
really
where
want to kill it.
Something happened with the Jon Stewart to Joe Rogan thing where they set it up that the comedians were the new arbiter of truth in this jester type way, where they were gonna like laugh in our face while being part of the ritual. So it's like, I wonder how much Ricky Gervais, he said all the right things, but plays all the parts and sits down and is comedians in cars getting coffee and is a billionaire and has a Netflix show. And, you know, so it's like, if you're a person that's calling out the thing to laugh at it, you're the double cross.
Yeah.
It's like it's the court jester. It's not like the public jester. It's the court jester. And they're employed by the court. And I think that part of it is to make fun of it in an acceptable way so that other people can kind of like vicariously feel that, okay, someone's going to do something about it because they know about it. And everyone, like, since everyone acknowledges it, that means that someone's going to sort it out. And I think that mentality, it's the same thing that people say, oh, we're raising awareness for like some topic. Like, okay, what does awareness do unless it hits some kind of like a big breaking point? And that's exactly what it's kind of geared at doing, right? Is like making you feel like, okay, if there's awareness, then it's not getting slipped under the radar, but I'm going to go to work tomorrow. I don't have to worry about it. Someone else has got this.
like all the black and white things at the beginning of COVID that came out with the celebrities that were they were like, have you ever told a racist joke? I have. And they all like had like, I'm sorry. And then they all came out too and sang in their cameras. Imagine all the people. It's easy if you try. I'm like, are you kidding me? But what it really showed, I think, with the lockdowns, with all of everyone in the world taking up the camera, the celebrities lost their light so quickly. All of a sudden, them sitting and doing this, oh, they weren't as entertaining without writers and a laugh track.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing to watch.
You saw content creators actually making fun of the Hollywood stars, like pulling out the cameras and like cueing on the sad face and cueing the tears and like taking a break. All right, was that good? Was that clip good? Was it sad enough? Was it real enough? Was it believable enough? Like, it's all part of the fucking act, part of the script. And they get paid to do it. Pfizer.
You know what Nimrod is telling me right now?
What? Nimrod, what do you want?
Heal
Paradise
the
City.
world, make it a better place. I was like, that's just better than imagined. I was just telling Michael Jackson right now.
Human race, there are people dying. Hollywood
I don't know why.
ritual.
It came up. I do.
I love it.
Well, the beginning of this whole NFL football season was started by number 3 passing out on the field, right?
Ooh,
and
yes,
then
it was.
everywhere that he held and stood all year, they held a 3. So we got to see the 33. What was his name again?
I don't know.
I do not remember.
We're the worst
Mr.
sports.
33.
No, it was 3. Somebody in the audience. None of us watch football.
No, I totally knew.
I don't.
If it was UFC rituals, you guys, I would have you. But I don't know anything about football. This is where we'd be so lacking on our Damar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin. See, yeah, that was in my head. It just wasn't coming out right.
Oh, is he the one that people were wondering?
I was thinking
if he
Lamar.
made it, that like he might have died, and they
Yeah,
brought
like-
back like another body double.
Yeah, like right after him, the clone Tyrone comes out, and like all those movies, and that's when all those celebrities start to come out and also say like, I've been cloned. Like everybody, has videos.
Jamie
of it.
Foxx.
But there's also, I'm trying to find, this is the other picture that we saw. This is the beginning of the year as well. So we have the Buffalo Bills, which is horned, They love
Horny.
that. Well,
Horny.
you have to have a horned animal at the Super Bowl. And so, you have this buffalo right here, and then the only player standing is number 33, Neil. And Hamlin, who's on the field, that they're all kneeling around except for everybody else. Look at Neil, everybody else except for 33. Are you kidding me? Like even his name is Neil and they're all kneeling. Shut up. I can't.
The ritual of kneeling like that.
Is that a
Taking
30
one-
and a 3 above him too? To the left, there's a guy number 30,
Yeah.
and then right above
Right
it is a
here.
3.
And then the
right?
3 on the side there with the green
Oh,
3.
right. But look, I know. I even think it's weird. It's like 99 and like 77. That looks like it says Muse, but it's Morse. I don't know. It's crazy, but this is the picture. and then-
Morse code.
but let me see. I'll type it into here. Damar Hamlin White House, or I'll just put Biden in.
But we can't see it.
I'm gonna stay on this page, right?
Oh yeah, on this page. the
Yeah,
one
I'm
with
gonna
the
stay
football?
right on this page. Hopefully, let's see. Right, it changed for you.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's the white screen now.
Cool. And then I'll zoom in. So see, look at like
There we
that's
go.
it. Yeah. See, so everywhere that he went, that after he was alive, everyone held the 33 up.
That's funny.
So and that's the
Fascinating.
beginning of this year. That I believe we aren't supposed to be in Biden's presidency. This is supposed to be Hillary's second term.
It was her turn.
It was her second term. We should be sitting in where the witch hunt and the like Me Too movement all took hold and pink pussy hats galore.
Or maybe concentration camps.
Do you think we're just in like we are in the splintered reality? Like we're not even in the mainstream. All of us are in like some side reality where something went wrong and Hillary didn't get to become president.
That's where some people say that Hillary had seen every other outcome. Like she had the golden cube to the internet, almost like the Tyler, so to speak, where the internet has all the
yellow book.
information and starts speaking to itself. And so the gold cube, and that Hillary, there was no way she could lose. Like that was a real phrase. They thought there was no option, there was no chance that she was ever able to lose. But unless you had like Tesla technology and enough money to make a time machine, apparently.
Well, spoiler alert, the Secret Society of Good Guys already has done that. That's why we had people in the past taking pictures of us before we're celebrities. So,
And that's also why we had Hillary arrested on 9/11/2016. You guys can look that up. You can see her being dragged into a car. That's the date we had Hillary arrested, and footage will come out of that maybe at the Super Bowl. After does the Batman thing in the Super Bowl also seem very real?
What's the Batman thing?
You know, like Bane blowing up the football field.
That also happened in that movie with Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Affleck. It was the exact same plot where they're going to blow up the Super Bowl, I think.
Did they show the 3-2-2 like in Batman? Before the stadium explodes, they show 3-2-2.
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Hollywood sports ritual.
My favorite 33 is the beginning of the Matrix opening scene with Trinity, door 303. That's my favorite 33.
We're coming up on the 33rd Summer Olympics.
I wonder what's going to happen during that.
Does
that
anyone have
whole
any
ritual.
superb owl predictions before we fly out of here?
Taylor Swift will be proposed to after the Super Bowl.
And she's going to say no.
Oh, maybe she'll say yeah.
Maybe they're going to drop a baby bomb.
Or that.
Fertility.
I will be releasing an episode on Valentine's Day of Project Cheney with my Maria, and we talk a little bit about this kind of stuff. And her prediction is that the whole entire thing is to set up Americans to breed again. So her getting proposed to and having babies and doing it all in this very Pfizer way of what things that medicine can do good for you and your kids. Her and Travis become a perfect like red, white, and blue couple to walk us into that. Come on, girls, let's start using our uteruses again and having some American babies.
They're not going to be able to, though, because of the sperm count.
Yeah, or maybe they might introduce like a new way of having a baby, like in a incubator style kind of thing. Hey, instead of like
baby incubator thing and all of the, orphan train, I realized we're not talking about this tonight, but I have to bring it up because it was on my mind. My grandmother's generation, when they had babies, they knocked them completely out. Did you guys know that? And then they allegedly gave birth.
About this.
Yeah, she was like completely knocked out. I'm like, how would you push out a baby?
I think it just makes you loose, probably, and it just like
they push down on.
It's like a laxative.
Yeah,
I think it's weird.
It just makes everything like whoop.
You literally have to use that contraction, those hard contractions that push, like hundreds of pounds out. You have to use that to push. You don't push you're not having a contraction. So how would they get these babies out without a C-section?
A suction
I find
cup?
it so bizarre. That's weird.
Mic check. Sorry.
There actually is a patent for this. There's a patent for a device.
No comment.
It's a centrifugal force birthing machine where they would strap the woman on like a wheel and spin it around really fast and let the centrifugal force like kind of push the baby out, and they would literally have like either nets or other people around to like catch the baby. I'm not making this up. This is legitimate.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god. Men think of this shit. I've got to believe it's men who thinks of this shit.
And the craziest part is none of that needed to happen. Ladies can just walk
I know.
around. They can just walk around and it's the best thing for them. Go on a
Shit it out
swim.
according to Cheney.
Yeah, that's how easy it is. I just hate that it's put into a medical thing. It's not a sickness. It's something that ladies are like, they can just do this thing, and if it takes a lot of time, it's because everything needs to spread out. They don't need to be cut open, and they don't need to be rushed through things. There's so many angry parts about the medical system, and ladies having to be involved in the medical system at all for any of this. It makes me insane.
What's this apparatus for?
That's it. That's the patent, 1965.
I'm gonna pull it up so we can see it, so you guys can get enlightened on how you should be.
So are all
having
these women
kids.
like?
That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, let's zoom in.
And if you can search and find the actual patent registration too, that also has diagrams, but this is pretty much the concept.
The drawing is crazy. It looks seriously like a torture device.
Is that supposed to be a woman on the bed being like
yes,
span around?
And a lady should not be laying on her back to give birth. Like, it's so wild.
That's nuts. I don't understand that at all. No wonder why y'all in so much pain.
I know. I'm surprised this part doesn't just roll down the lady like a rolling pin.
You know, I like the whole idea of like the man pleasuring the wife in labor. I don't know if y'all seen the home pregnancy of this man and woman. I think you could find it on YouTube. But he was apparently pleasuring her and giving her orgasms for her to have a more spiritual, more I guess more spiritual experience and more pleasurable and not painful. And she did not feel any pain during her pregnancy and nothing but pleasure.
If a lady's walking around in general and standing up, then when a baby crowns, that is where the G spot is. It's not meant for a penis to hit. That's why it's easier for men to hit the G spot with their fingers than it is their penis, unless they're doing it from behind, because it's for a crowning of a head. It's meant to give you some kind of pleasure in your pain. But we're not giving birth right. We're laying on our back, so it doesn't hit that at all. It doesn't hit any of the forward spot that it should. It's laying all back. So it's so ridiculous. The whole entire
have
thing.
Explosive orgasms during like the whole birth experience. And when the baby comes out and the head like hits that spot, he's pleasuring her, pleasuring her.
I like how you have to show us. That's how it's done. Like
an angry Italian grandmother.
The queen waves. I know. I thought it was like the queen waving, like an angry Italian grandmother.
Oh,
yeah.
What's the scratchers? The DJ scratchers?
Put the needle. I'll put the needle on.
Oh, and it's the perfect 2 fingers too when they do it too.
I mean that.
Well, this too. Pull it out.
Yeah. Exactly. You just gotta keep the beat. That's the number one goal.
Yes.
Is keeping the beat. You can't be like about to drop it in the club, the beat's going on 2 and 4, and then all of a sudden, and
like
8.
you hear her like, it's rising, it's rising, it's rising and rising, and then all of a sudden you just stop.
Drop.
What?
Let the beat
at the wrong time.
Most paranoid American explanation that I ever heard. That is where I'm like, I can kind of see that now auditorily, that you're like like I'll just build it up here, and then the club's dancing, and then drop, and she's like, "No, don't stop." I don't want to get off topic. It's totally for another show because we're getting so late into the night. But I do want to talk about Shrek and one day and him and his Nephila mix.
And what fee fi fo fum means.
Shrek is life.
Yeah, Shrek and Fee Fi Fo Fum. Have we done a giant show yet?
Fee fi
Maybe we
fo
should do a whole
fum.
show on giants.
Listen what fee fi fo fum means with etymology. I went down this whole.
Fee.
It means
Man.
let me pull it up.
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
It means cattle evil from under smoke. Or under smoke. Cattle evil from under smoke. Fee is cattle, fi is
Turkey.
evil, fo is from under, and fum is smoke.
Fee Fi Fo Fum.
So it's like, who are the cattle, the evil cattle that these giants talk of under some smoke of clouds, perhaps?
The cow jumped over the moon.
And ironically, Jack sells his cow for the beans. And he calls I guess the giant calls them evil cattle because, they steal the golden egg and the harp and all that. And they're like evil for stealing.
Gotta get that paper.
Do you know how many strings are on a harp?
72?
14?
47.
47?
Oh, snap.
That number's magical.
7th president.
I'm telling you.
All about 47.
434 machine elves.
In this Fee Fi Fo Fum song, he says that he's gonna grind the bones of a human and take his dough.
An English man.
An English man. That's some gangster rap right there. Fee Fi Fo Fum, smell them bones of the English man.
It's like an ICP rap.
Be he alive or be he
Like
dead.
a brotherly
his
Sean.
bones to get his dough.
Oh, that's a good Nephilim rap. Fee Fi Fo Fum.
Mm-hmm.
That would be. That's the. Yeah.
I smell the blood of the English man. Fee Fi Fo Fum. Let's get that dough.
Yeah, that is the new hip hop. Paranoid American's gonna be up all night, and his poor girlfriend's gonna be like, "If I hear Fee Fi Fo Fum one more time this weekend."
I grind his bones to make my bread. Fee Fi Fo Fum.
And then you end it with the cow jumped over the moon for no reason. That's how all your raps end.
Just as a cherry on top.
So Donut, do you have anything to plug? You have a ritual show coming up.
Yeah,
Plug
hey,
it up.
diddle, got the kitty in the fiddle, and the cow jumped on that moon, and the little dog laughed, and the dish ran away with the spoon.
So, you guys, thanks for hanging out with all of us tonight.
Yes.
We appreciate it like always. And
love you guys.
I'm a little loopy, I think.
Thanks for celebrating the Year of the Dragon with us.
Happy birthday, Donut.
Happy birthday, Donut.
And happy unbirthday to me.
Birthday.
And you. And you. And you.
Yeah.
Nephilim. Year of the Nephilim.
Yeah, remember, it's the Year of the Nephilim.
Big up.
That was
It was forbidden. They said it was dangerous. They were right. Introducing the paranoid American homunculus owner's manual. Dive into the arcane, into the hidden corners of the occult. This isn't just a comic. It's a hidden tome of supernatural power. All original artwork illustrating the ground.
Eyes wide shut, a surreal ball, Rothschild mansion, creepy halls behind every door, a cloaked body. Don't you know this is Illuminati? That we put the naughty in Illuminati. We expose the hot bodies of Illuminati. That we put the naughty in Illuminati. Mind control of your soul, of that body. Yeah.
Are you ready to reveal all there is to see? Esoteric secrets revealed in all of their glory. The Illuminati series from Paranoid American, putting the naughty in Illuminati.
Constantly explore the view of possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. Which is where those bigger mistakes, entertaining, calming linguists. Good guys. Forum of decorum needs a secretive society to advance on philosophies intentionally, magically good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys. Which is where those mischief making, it's okay to change your thinking. Good guys, good guys, good guys. American stickers, cryptids, cults, and killers. We got all your favorite conspiracies, all that and more on our sticker sheets. Paranoid American stickers, they'll make you smile and snicker. False flags and secret societies, all of these and more on our sticker sheets.
Explore the unique with Paranoid American sticker sheets. Unearth tales of cryptids, cults, and mysteries through each sticker. These won't last long. Get yours now at paranoidamerican.com.
We're all American stickers, cryptids, cults, and killers. We got all your favorite conspiracies, all of that and more on our sticker sheets. Paranoid American stickers, they'll make you smile and snicker. False flags and secret societies, all of these and more on our sticker sheets.
What the heck are you waiting for? Discover the extraordinary with Paranoid American sticker sheets. From cryptids in the night to cults out of sight, each sticker is a unique find. Get yours now at paranoidamerican.com.
Save us, Britney Spears! Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the